pain treatments.
So at QC Kinetics, we have a whole team working nationwide with cutting-edge research to reach our patients and treat them and know that surgery is no longer their only option.
The consultation is free. Find out if you're a candidate. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Homer here from ESPN Milwaukee. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, 90 years old, say they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed.
Mamma mia!
Screamin' Sicilian, so loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screamin' is about.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's finally game day.
Willis, another dart, another catch. It's Watson for the touchdown. Willis, 2 strikes, and right back at you. Green Bay has life at home.
And the countdown to kickoff starts now.
Willis pulls, Willis runs, Willis scores. Touchdown, Green Bay.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Now broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Here's Alex Strouf.
All right, away we go. The final week of the regular season. Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Alex Strouf.
Oh, it is a regular season game. Here, I thought it was a preseason game. That's my bad.
Feels like a preseason game.
I thought we were just doing this for a preseason game.
It feels a lot like it. I mean, like, I'm excited to watch the backups. Am I really excited? That might not be the right word. That might not be. Might not be the right word. Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champion Bryan Bulaga, ESPN's John Anderson with you on this Sunday, Week 18 in the NFL. It's Packers at Vikings here in the final week of the regular season, but it's like the junior varsity Packers at the Minnesota Vikings here on the Sunday as the Packers are locked into the 7th seed, so they're not playing anybody. We'll get an official list of inactives in about 90 minutes.
But the crazy part is, so Bill Huber had the report yesterday. So they're resting players, but if something happens to Clayton Tune, which it could against a very good Vikings defense, Brian Flores loves to blitz, could confuse the young quarterback, especially with some backup offensive linemen in there. If something happens to Clayton Tune, suddenly Jordan Love is going to play. They did not elevate Desmond Ridder, and it seems like Malik is, well, again, Huber said yesterday, he had a source telling him that Jordan Love is the backup quarterback.
Yeah, so LaFleur talked about it, and we'll talk to Jason Wilde about this in the 10 o'clock hour, but LaFleur talked about it a little bit, and with Malik Willis dealing with the shoulder injury, it seems they're more confident in the availability of Love than Willis. It's a cluster, you know what. I want to go to Bryan Bulaga right away, because this is a rather abnormal situation. If you're resting starters in the final week of the season, at least in Green Bay's history, it's typically because they're the number 1 seed. And they get a double bye almost. This is a team that is dealing with a 7 seed. They know they're going on the road next week. They don't know where yet. It'll either be Chicago or Philadelphia. So it's kind of a, hey, you're so beat up, you've got 15 players on injured reserve. You might as well just try to get a little bit healthier before you go on the road next week. Bryan, just a weird week for the Green Bay Packers in the regular season finale.
Yeah, it's a very weird week, and I mean, I'm kind of with you guys. I'm not too sure how excited I am about preseason football in the last week of the season. Like, I'm just being honest with you. And why it kind of confuses me and it's odd is because you're on a 3-game skid. You're on a 3-game skid. You've played not very good. Like, let's just be real about it. You haven't played well. You've lost football games. You just got blown out by Baltimore at home. Would be nice to maybe get some positive momentum going and play guys and try to get something positive going in your direction going into the playoffs, where, again, you're the 7th seed again. You got to go on the road again, and you're probably going to go to Chicago or Philly, whoever it may be, right? I don't know how it's all going to play out or stack out. I haven't done my ESPN playoff calculator thing where you could pick all the, win, loss, whatever. But regardless, you haven't done anything very good in the last 3 weeks. And now you're going to sit everyone, and they're going to watch something not very good happen again today. I mean, let's just call it what it is. And then you got to take all that 4 weeks in a row, taking losses, and then try to think, okay, well, that really wasn't real what happened the last 4 weeks. Now let's go on the playoffs. Let's go on the road and win a playoff game against teams that have been winning, and they feel good about themselves, and they've played their way into the 2 seed essentially.
I don't know if Philly feels good about themselves. They're winning football games. I don't know if Philly feels good all season long, the way everything's kind of played out in Philly.
I'll put it this way: I'd rather be in Philly's situation than in our situation.
That's true.
I would rather be hosting somebody coming to Lambeau next week than going somewhere. I mean, I'll just put it that way. Like that's just the way I kind of look at it. So I'm not saying you need to play starters all game, but give them a half of football to go out there and show that, game speed and things like that. And just to kind of get their feet back underneath them before they go on the road and play. I just think sitting all your really top players that haven't played in a while, man, I don't understand how then you feel ready to go play a playoff game next week. It just doesn't make much sense to me. So I guess I'm not totally excited about today's game.
Yeah, excited certainly isn't the right word. Jordan Love has not played since the first half of December 20th. The Packers haven't won since December 7th. If they lose today, that would be over a month since their last victory, as they will likely play. It will be the 10th, 11th, or 12th next week, depending on when their playoff game is scheduled in either Chicago or Philly. And to your guys' point on Philly, it hasn't been pretty, but if they win today in Washington and become the 2 seed, that will be 4 straight victories for Philly, as Green Bay could be dealing with 4 straight losses. So a little bit different what those two teams are looking at. John Anderson, preseason football in January. Here we go.
Yeah, and I asked my wife, and they won't let me come to book club, so I'm going to have to watch.
What was the book?
Yeah, what are we reading?
Could you gotten the Cliff Notes or just looked at the Wikipedia synopsis to kind of join book club?
No, I'm up to speed. That's the thing too. I'm ready to go. They just won't have me.
Oh wow!
They're like, no, you got to watch the game. So, to sort of Bryan, since he's the athlete here, it's cool that some guys are going to earn their varsity letter today, which is nice. They're going to get out there and take care of business. I like that they're still charging regular season prices, so that part's always super fun to watch. The question I have for the Packers is really as to what end, okay? Because, Alex, you said there's 15 guys on IR.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, they're not coming back, right? So that's not really you can't get those guys healthy enough to come back. That doesn't matter. What are the bumps and bruises? Maybe at what cost? I feel like you need to get something out of this if you're gonna play guys, and I guess maybe the backups receive a valuable playing experience if in fact they get back on the field. I'd push back that I think Philly feels fine about themselves. It's just the national media and the fans that are always mad at Philly and Jalen Hurts. So I think they're not in a bad spot, but it's just, I just want to know, resting all these guys to what end? When you've played this poorly, although we should point out, right, against the Bears, they played terrific until they played 54 minutes of really good football.
I'll up at 58.
I was going to say for 57 or 58.
I'd like to see that team around. So they have done, there's something, but you got to have some good taste. And this is almost exactly where we were last year, right? What is it you're going to take out of this that's good into the postseason? And I think if you go out there and just decide, well, what happens, and the result is not something, we're going to focus on the process. I think sometimes the result is important, and they could really use a win. They could really use a few good quarters of football so that we go we we can play the game. To go in next week, and if you lose, to be more than a month since you won a game is just really, that's the same tall order we had last year going to the playoffs. The team is down. They've seemed to spiral a little bit. How are you going to pull it together? And they went to Philly and played pretty uninspired and didn't do much. And I feel like you're just looking at this whole thing. Like, I have seen the movie, and I am not wild about the movie. So, but I will sit through it. It's, I feel like this is a little actually like, I feel like this is the opening rounds of, I know I'm a track guy, so this is dumb, but the opening rounds of Olympic track, like where they bring in the sprinters, but they're from all the countries that aren't Jamaica and the U.S. Like, I'm watching guys from Kazakhstan and Seychelles and, you know, the Republic of Congo, all to earn a spot into the final to get whacked by some Jamaican or some USA guy, and that's where we're here. I feel like we're in also-ran right now, the sevens again, and I just don't know what they're going to show me today, even if they win by people that are going to play, that I'm going to hang my hat on. So weird's a good description of it. It is just, it's like this, it's like inert, right? Like, there's just no result one way or another that's going to make me think much different going into next week, wherever it is they go.
All right. So Blue, how hard is it then? Because clearly a lot of the starters that you're going to be counting on next week didn't practice as much this week, because guys like Clayton Tune needed to get, some reps before playing in an NFL game. I feel like that's a good idea. But so now you're kind of throttling down. How hard is it to flip that switch and then throttle it right back up to play the literally most important game of the season next week?
It's difficult. Like, I mean, I'm just going to say what it is. Like, turning things on and off, like, especially going into playoffs, when the playoffs are amplified by like 100. Like, that's the intensity of the playoff games. Like, they are amplified by 100. So, like, what you're going to get in practice, what you've gotten, this week against Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota will be excited, but it's going to be nothing what you're about to walk into next week with the speed, the intensity, like kind of the momentum shifts that happen on every series. Like, you can't, it's hard to just like turn that back on when you haven't done it for so many weeks. Right, you haven't had any success going for you in the last 3 to 4 weeks, to then find all of a sudden there's a bunch of positives that are going to happen on the road in a bad environment. Like, it's just very difficult to be like, okay, guys, let's go, let's get ready. It's time to actually care now. It's time to care. I mean, yes, everyone's professional. The guys are pros and they know like it's playoff time. But like, when your body hasn't been out there doing it, right, and you haven't really felt the speed of the game or the physicality of the game, then to tune your body into getting ready to go and do that against a good team like Philly, or say it is Chicago, and you got to go back to that snake pit again and try to get a win. I get we'd probably rather see Chicago, but Chicago's going to feel really good about themselves too if they get the 2 seed, and you got to go play them again. They're going to feel really good about it. So it's that's why, to me, like, I just feel like getting some snaps for these guys that aren't like, man, they're hanging on by a thread right now, and the only way like they can play next week is if they get, sat down this week. Like, get some game time. Like, give them something so that they feel decent and they can feel the speed of a game. And you're going to be on the road, so it's good to be in a hostile environment like Minnesota and try to communicate with each other and kind of work through that process, because you're about to go do it again.
And I get resting guys like Zach Tom, who's been out dealing with knee and back issues. I get Josh Jacobs, who has been on that Chad Clifton plan of not practice all week and then play in the game. Obviously, the knee's bothering him. So if you have something bothering you, I'm with Blue. I would have loved to see in this game the guys go. Maybe you treat it like the way they used to treat the old, third game of the preseason back when there were 4, potentially 5 of, okay, this is the dress rehearsal. You're playing a half, but I still want you to have that feeling of coming out of the locker room ready to play, and you play that first series of the third quarter. Then you can bring in your Clayton Tunes and have Bo Melton play every position you want him to play and get the participation trophy. Do whatever you want then. But again, just to establish some sort, especially because Jordan hasn't played. It's going to be close to a month, and I just feel the rhythm and timing for him is going to be difficult next week, and that makes me a little nervous.
Okay, well, I'm glad we're all feeling really good about this. This is going to be a fun 3 hours here on Green Bay.
I feel fine. I don't feel anything. That's the difference. right?
That's the problem.
Yeah, it's week 18, John. That's not normal.
It's like
Week
if I
18
was
for
in
a playoff
Phoenix,
team.
like if I was in Phoenix, it'd be apathy, but it'd be a dry apathy. But it's just that's what's dumb is like you're like, what aren't you go into games and you're supposed to feel something, and right? And I'm just this vast nothingness is what makes me uneasy.
Is there anything, John, in particular you're like, okay, I am excited to see that?
Well, yeah, like hopefully a random Viking gets hurt or something. That'll be fun. But yeah, like I would like to make their life miserable if possible, you know. But yeah, there's just and I do feel sorry because you can play all the backups. So then there are some starters who guess either like, yeah, no, you get to play today.
Yeah,
you have to, you have to go in there, and you're like, okay, I got to go give my best effort. And it's not that anybody else won't, but you're just in a different caliber. You're playing next to people that you're not used to playing with. So those guys, in a way, have a chore as well because you feel like, okay, I got to make sure that I'm on my P's and Q's. I might have to pick up all these other guys that might not know what's going on. And I feel like that's a heavy burden to the guys who are going to be forced to play.
The debut of Trayvon Diggs, who was signed on New Year's Eve, the former All-Pro cornerback from Dallas, who has allowed a perfect passer rating in his direction the 9 games he's played this season in Dallas. He was signed on New Year's Eve. He will go today for Green Bay. Any excitement there for anybody? Crickets? Okay, very good.
I mean, like, okay, so like to John
Willie Buchanan's number. That's what I can't believe that.
Yeah, this is the John's point again. What are you really going to get a good look on him when half the guys around him may not even be the guys that are starters, right? Like he may not have protection from McKinney, or he may not have whoever around him. Like, what are you really going to learn about him? Like, it's just, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like it's like week 2 of the preseason. That's how I feel about it. Like that's. And it's kind of, I mean, maybe this is what the new NFL is, right? Like with this extra game and this many weeks, and then they want to do another one. Say they add another game, who's really going to care about next week? Like, absolutely no one really cares about this week. Now, who's going to care about the next one? It's unbelievable. So, like, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, it's good experience for some guys, but at the end of the day, like, you're essentially saying, we're good. We're good here.
They have broadcast to the world by starting Clayton Tune that this game does not matter.
Yes.
The result of this game does not matter.
Right? Brian touches on a big problem for the NFL. Look at the Eagles are resting their guy. They're not playing Jalen Hurts.
Nope.
There's a lot of this. So you've gotten this 17th game, which we all love. And like I said, we get to charge full price, whether it's in the stands or for rights fees. And once it's now done, because 17 allows more variables, right? The idea is that, more teams could be in it longer, but actually in some ways you separate people out much earlier. Like you just get this as a whole. There's a couple games, right? Last night was good with the 2 games because who doesn't want to see who's going to finish 8 and 9 and win a division? That had me on
that's always sexy, yeah.
Even better, John. That game didn't decide anything.
No.
That didn't matter for anything.
That division gets decided today by 2 teams that have nothing to play for and have already been eliminated.
Hey, Tyler Shuck, go decide the division, man.
The division is coming down. I have to watch the Saints-Falcons has more impact than any game going on this weekend. Although A-Rod's got himself a game. So there's a couple in there. But the rest, there's 7 games that matter, and there's 10 of them that people are like, well, I guess we can still gamble on that. But even that makes it hard.
It's like gambling on the 4th preseason game. You don't even know who's going to be out there.
Exactly. You have no idea. There's no prop bets. You can't bet on an over-under on a pass. I mean, it's like, who's even playing? It's unbelievable.
So I think they've gotten themselves in a spot for sure that the 17th game is not going to be the best quality product.
But you know what's going to fix that, John? An 18th game.
Yeah.
18th game. I bet that'll fix it.
Yeah. Although I was with a guy an older NFL player earlier this week. And I did ask him, like, how on earth did you stay in camp for 2 months and play 6 preseason games, right? Like, you guys aren't old enough to remember that, but I can remember the old 6 preseason game schedule. But I do think to the number of guys that are on IR, right? 17 games. That takes its toll. That's why you get down there. And now these guys are depleted when it comes through. So I think all the things that the Players Association worried about with a 17th game have shown themselves more than all the benefits that the owners and the NFL thought were going to come from the 17th game. Mm-hmm. It's only been, 3 years that we've had this, 4 years? I don't know, whatever it is. But I feel like if you went back and looked at the cases that were made from both sides, that it has played out closer to what the players feared than what the NFL had hoped.
Yeah.
As they look at this thing, but it'll be great. I can't wait. I mean, since I can't come to book club, I'm gonna be really enthused when I watch it.
I'm sorry you weren't invited to book club. You do seem really torn up about that.
Well, listen. If it was Bunko, I'd be apoplectic. But this, I can hang out with. This, I'll be okay.
All right, good. Hey, Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's favorite vodka. For a reason, distilled 6 times till it's just right. Tito's known for great vodka, giving back and doing good for dogs. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly with Tito's Handmade Vodka. Policies perspective. We hear from the Packers' first-year president and CEO ahead of the postseason in his monthly newsletter. And his perspective on how the team has done in 2025 is one you're going to want to hear. We will dive into that coming up next on Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
More Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right, and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Look out, world, we're getting strong. The future's here and we belong. She can STEM, she can do more. Like build a rocket and watch it soar. Or clean the oceans and make the world a better place. Oh, she can STEM, so can you. Find a cure, invent something new. There's no challenge in the world that she can't face. She can STEM.
Learn more at She Can STEM. A message brought to you by the Ad Council.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with AccuTrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use AccuTrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. AccuTrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with
Sign up online and your first wash is absolutely free. That's a $25 value on the house. Claim your free wash today at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 15 retired in honor of Butch Lee. He finished in 78, and the number retired the next season. It's hard to believe that any player could ever equal what Butch Lee did at Marquette. Part of the national championship team in 77, and the Final Four MVP, and the next season, the consensus National Player of the Year. So much success, it's not necessary to bring up any statistics. Number 15, Butch Lee, did everything. Running a business means taking care of your team and your bottom line. For over 50 years, Saganiac Planning has helped small businesses build smarter, more affordable medical and employee benefit plans. From health insurance to customized coverage options, our experts make it simple to protect your people and your future. Saganiac Planning, your partner in planning confidence. Visit SaganiacPlanning.com or call John Saganiac Jr. today to get started. 262-783-6161.
I'm I'm Tiffany Haddish.
And I'm Marlon Wayans. African Americans are 3 times more likely to be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer than any other racial or ethnic group.
Access to cutting-edge treatment can help make long-term survival possible.
That's why Stand Up to Cancer and the Lust Garden Foundation have teamed up to bring over 30 pancreatic cancer clinical trials to those who need them.
For more information about the latest pancreatic cancer research and clinical trials near you, visit pancreaticcancercollective.org.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel, John Anderson, Bryan Bulaga with you. Ahead of the regular season finale, it's Week 18 in the National Football League. The Packers will head to Minnesota and take on the rival Vikings, but it's really the JV Packers taking on the Vikings today, as most people won't play ahead of the playoff game next week. As the Packers locked into the 7th seed, today's game has zero implication on their status for next week. They'll either head to Chicago or Philadelphia, depending on the outcome of their games today against respective divisional opponents. But I do want to read this from Ed Policy, the first-year president and CEO of the Packers, who released his monthly newsletter, which is far less entertaining than Mark Murphy's former column. But this snippet from the beginning of the column written yesterday, or released yesterday, gives you a little bit of an insight into his mindset heading into an offseason where decisions do need to be made. He said prior to this season, he does not enjoy lame duck years, right? The final year of a contract. Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur will both be in the final year of their current deals next season, so a decision will be made on both of those guys one way or another this offseason. Policy writes on Packers.com, quote, "Adversity is the norm in the National Football League, and I am extremely proud of how our team has handled many challenges. Last season, we struggled within our division, and this year we improved to 4-1. We've persevered through a litany of injuries and a very challenging schedule and placed ourselves in a position to compete for our ultimate goal, a Super Bowl championship," end quote, from the Packers president and CEO. Gabe, I'm curious from your perspective, what does that tell you from Ed Policy and how he's viewing this season?
I would say any sort of talk about Matt LaFleur and or Brian Gutekunst not being here next year, I read that and I go, okay, they're going to be back. They're going to offer them contract extensions, and maybe the shakeup is and I know Rob Demovsky had mentioned this a couple of weeks ago on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy when he joined us on a Monday, that maybe, Policy goes, all right, now Brian Gutekunst is going to run football operations just like every general manager before him used to do, and I'll leave it up to him with what to do with the Matt LaFleur contract. Maybe they go that route.
Maybe.
But I read that and I go, okay, he's not going to be making any big changes and firing anyone.
So I guess the one thing I would say in his defense, and I understand the nickname of Green Bay is Titletown, but to see that they are back in the playoffs, 7th seed or not, is a good sign given just the state of some of the other contenders in the NFL this year, right? Detroit goes from a 14-win team or 15-win team to out of the playoffs. Minnesota goes from a 14-win team to out of the playoffs. Kansas City, not in the postseason. At least the Packers are back in the dance, despite all the injuries and some of the shortcomings and some of the several disappointing losses this season. They are back in the dance, which is a good note. Brian, what do you make of the president and CEO's comments on this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of agree with some of the things he's saying, right? Like, I mean, I think he's going to put a positive spin on a lot of what's happened this year. I mean, listen, I think without him, there's no aggressive move to go get Micah Parsons. Let's just call that kind of what that is, right? Like he's a reason probably why that move is made. He stamps that as good to go do it, and it gets done, right? I'm not too sure if that's a move that Mark Murphy makes, right? Like based on history, I'm just not totally sure if that's one that happens, right? So I think he is changing things, and I think it's, I think it's going to be for the better. I think it's going to take a few years to see, right? Like I'm not saying Mark Murphy did a bad job, but I think Policy's obviously new thinking, a little bit younger, a little bit new school, and you'll see the changes happen as time goes on. Now, based on right now with LaFleur and Goody, I mean, if anyone thought that they were not going to get new contracts I don't know what you were thinking exactly, like, because that was always going to be the case. And I get it. There's high expectations in Green Bay. There always has been. There always will be, right? Especially when you have a quarterback that, or like Green Bay's had, and Brett, and then Aaron, and now you pay Jordan Love this much money. You think you have another great quarterback, right? The expectation will be there, and that's the nature of it, and that's fine. That's how it should be. Players should want that. I just don't think that you go ahead and fire coaches and GMs that continually get you into the playoffs. Like, that normally to me isn't something that you do. And I mean, you've seen teams that have done it in the past. Like, I don't know, the Chargers, they've done that. That hasn't worked out too well for them until probably this year. We'll see how they do in the playoffs, right? Then you saw the Bears do with Lovie Smith. Well, they finally have worked that out this year, and it looks like Ben Johnson's the right guy to do it. So, like, you just don't go firing good coaches because you're mad that, I don't think he's aggressive enough on second down, or I don't like give me a break. Like, LaFleur's been a pretty consistent winner in Green Bay. Obviously, I have experience with him as a coach. Like, I really like Matt as a coach. I get some people may also say, like, I think he runs a soft program. Like, that has nothing to do with Matt. Matt doesn't run a soft program or anything like that. Like, that's all garbage. It's nonsense. It's not, it's not true. At least in my experience, right? And I can only speak on my experience. And then you go to the GM. No, you may not love his first round pick of 2020 or whatever. I don't even know when he was, when he took over in 2018, or you might not have liked his first round pick in 2021.
I think we like his first round pick in 2020. I didn't at the time, but I like it now.
Oh, it was Jordan.
It was
Sorry.
Jordan. It was Jordan.
Yeah, that worked out all right.
Yeah, sorry. I don't remember I was gone, so I have no idea.
It didn't matter to you.
So it did not matter to me one bit. and nothing to do with me. But, like, that doesn't mean he hasn't done really good things and brought in really good players and assigned really good players and drafted really good players in rounds 2, 3, and 4. So if we're just judging it based off of, like, just raw emotion, like, we're just gonna, how am I feeling right now? We're the 7th seed. We should be better. Let's move on from them. And who are you gonna go find? Who are you gonna go get? Like, that's my biggest question is always, who are you gonna go get? And then if that fails, then you're just in this repeat cycle again, right? Then you're looking like Chicago or like whoever, where it's every 3 years you're just canning them and moving on and trying to find someone that sticks. And to me, like, that's not good. Consistency to me is more important than, like, instant, like, we need to be the 1 seed or we need to have 14 wins a season. That's, like, to me, that I just don't like that. I think that thinking is a little short term. And to me, now with a new president, with this GM and LaFleur, I think good things can happen. So, like, I'm with him on that. There are positives. There's some negatives, obviously. But I think there's more positives with the way these three can work together going forward than anything. I mean, that's just my opinion on it.
15 guys on injured reserve doesn't help entering Week 18. John,
no. Yeah, that doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. Same number as 2010, though. I'll just point that out. John Anderson, Ed Policy. Carmen's son, as you like to refer to him as occasionally.
I don't know that I've done that. Anyway, I will push back. Like, you're right on the Vikings and the Lions. And I worry about that. I'm around enough Bear fans that are like, they are tooting their horns. And I'm like, okay, but can you do this for 3 decades as opposed to a couple years? I will push back. I don't think the Chiefs go in that category. I'll take the Chiefs' run of the 3 Super Bowls in 5 years and go to I'll take theirs.
I agree. Yeah.
I get that they missed, but I don't think that's quite like the Vikings missing or the Lions missing this year. I'd be happy for a while if we could put together that little run. I do think your policy is clear, and I think Brian's right. Like, I don't know that anybody thought they were going to be fired. Anybody's going to get fired here. I do think what becomes curious is how long is that extension? Do you tack on a year for everybody? That tells you then you're on notice, correct? If I give you 3, then it tells you you're in charge. And you get to stay in charge for a while. So I think that becomes a really important signal to the organization, to the coaches, to the players, everybody else of what they're thinking. So that of all that, I think, is what's going to come out of that we need to mostly look at. I do think people get into this, we haven't done enough. I mean, people are mad at Mike Tomlin now because all he does is win and they're going to be 9-8 again. And you're like, okay, but the flip side of that can be ugly because 3-13 and trying to dig out of that for a long time is trouble too. So I like LaFleur. I would have liked to have seen some progress made here because aside from injuries, yes, which of these guys, since they beat the Cowboys and narrowly lost in San Francisco, which of these guys is appreciably better this season right now than they were in that game? Is Jordan better?
Yes.
Is Dobbs better?
No.
I want to let's measure that. And if there's progress made there, even though the record now the injuries as a whole kind of drops off, do I feel better about all those guys that had all that potential coming out of Dallas, coming out of San Francisco? Do I feel the same way about them?
Yeah.
Are they better than they were then now? And some of the guys I say yes, some of the guys I'm like, I don't know. There are some persistent things that I think after a couple years, how do you not get the special teams things straightened out, especially with the value you seem to have put on Rich Biasachi? Some of those things I do think need examining. But I do think the leadership group they have, Policy, Gutekunst, and LaFleur, are three guys that, Policy for sure, but I don't think those are guys that I give up on. I think those guys still have the capability to put that team, team, where we would like it to ultimately be.
I totally agree with that point. I've probably been maybe too stern of a LaFleur defender at times, but I do believe that's a guy you could win a Super Bowl with at the helm, coaching this team, despite some of his shortcomings, especially shown this season. But I would be shocked. I'd be floored if they gave up up on him following the season. I'd be LaFleur.
And again, it would be something that this organization's never done. Moving on from a coach that has made the playoffs. You think of the ones that they've made, again, so Holmgren left on his own accord.
Yep.
So then you bring in Ray Rhodes. Missed the playoffs. He's gone after a year. After that, you have Sherman, who goes 4-12. Then he gets unceremoniously fired. And then Mike McCarthy missed the playoffs back-to-back years, and he got fired with 4 games left of that second season of not making the playoffs.
Which that was super uncharacteristic at the time, too, an in-season firing. Yeah. I think that's the only time they've ever done it.
Even though we all knew
Big
Mike's time was coming.
But all those had different surroundings, right? Rhodes, they had identified early on, okay, this is not a long-term solution.
Right.
That's where you're like, okay, let's Ron Wolf, who said one time, when you realize you made a mistake, get rid of it as soon as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that was
then he did. He was the one in charge, and he was the one who got rid of the mistake as quick as he could.
Yeah, he said that about players. Okay, we got it. Boom, that's a bad contract. How quick can we get out of that? With as soon as you can do that. So I think that Sherman had kind of lost it. Favre was now running the team, so that had to be changed a little bit. And then what are you gonna do? Mike and Aaron and Bulaga were leading this revolt against McCarthy.
Oh wow! I didn't realize Blue was a part of that. Didn't realize.
Oh yeah,
he was the one leading the charge. Yes, let's start that narrative.
He and the offensive lineman. If you don't think he's complicit in this for a minute, you guys don't know.
All right, well, we'll have to save that later, Blue. You're gonna have to tell me what it's like to throw a coup in an NFL locker room.
Yeah. Very, very. You have to be very careful. You got to be very careful how you start that and do that.
There were dramatics, I'm sure.
You got to make sure it succeeds is the thing.
Yes.
Right, if you're going to take a shot at the king, you got to make sure that he's gone. But I think those are all surrounding, right? By all accounts right now, I don't know that it's full kumbaya. I think everybody gets along together, wants to be working together, and there's no fissures in what's going on with the people in the building.
When we tailgate at the Tundra Trio, our partners and fans sip on some incredible cocktails. That's thanks to our friends at V Private Bar Services, the go-to team behind our bar hospitality. They bring the flavor, the flair, and the experience that takes our game day to the next level. Raise the bar for your next event. Book V Private Bar Services today. All right, I think he's getting used to the fact we're usually late for him. Rob Demovsky joins us from US Bank Stadium, ESPN NFL Nation reporter, to preview Week 18, the preseason game between the Packers and the Vikings. That's next on Green Bay Game Day.
More Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Hey, it's John McGivern here. You know I love Network Health. One of the reasons is that they're local and they understand how important that is. Their exceptional customer service isn't just words on a page. It's what they do. It's what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
People say buying a home in winter is tough.
But fewer buyers means less competition, and motivated sellers can mean better opportunities.
This is Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber.
And I'm Lindsay Bendler. When the perfect home appears, our team at Tony Wendorf & Associates helps you move fast, even during the snow.
Start your home journey today with our white glove service by simply searching online Tony Wendorf.
A real estate team that always leads with faith and gratitude.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
Hey football fans, get ready for kickoff with homemade party must-haves this week at Sendik's. Start with delicious dips, guacamole, pico de gallo, potato chips, and popcorn. Score big with over 20 varieties of homemade sausage and gourmet burgers. Then, stop by Sendik's Deli for homemade salads, side dishes, and even pinza pizzas. All made from scratch every day. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 15 retired in honor of Butch Lee. He finished in 78, and the number retired the next season. It's hard to believe that any player could ever equal what Butch Lee did at Marquette. Part of the national championship team in 77, and the Final Four MVP, and the next season, the consensus National Player of the Year. So much success, it's not necessary to bring up any statistics. Number 15, Butch Lee, did everything. Running a business means taking care of your team and your bottom line. For over 50 years, Saganiac Planning has helped small businesses build smarter, more affordable medical and employee benefit plans. From health insurance to customized coverage options, our experts make it simple to protect your people and your future. Saganiac Planning, your partner in planning confidence. Visit SaganiacPlanning.com or call John Saganiac Jr. today to get started. 262-783-6161.
Potawatomi Casino Hotel wants to extend a sincere thank you to our guests and bingo players. With your generosity, this year's Heart of Canal Street event raised more than $700,000, helping 30 children's charities across southeastern Wisconsin. For more than 30 years, Heart of Canal Street has partnered with hundreds of local organizations to give children safe spaces, resources, and opportunities to thrive. Thank you for sharing your heart. Learn more at potawatomi.com/heart.
Whether you're hitting the road for the holidays or heading up north to see family and friends, make Higher Love Cannabis Company in Menominee, Michigan your first stop. Just across the Wisconsin border, Higher Love offers award-winning, organically grown products that you can trust, plus new incense, apparel, and holiday-ready gifts. Fuel your trip, stock up for the season, and don't forget to grab a photo with Sasquatch while you're here. Your perfect holiday stop is waiting at findhigherlove.com/CBD. Homer here with a message about Three Pillars Senior Living Communities, located on a serene setting along the Bark River on 300 gorgeous acres. Three Pillars Senior Living Communities is a top-ranked full continuum community. Active adult, independent living, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, and rehab. Three Pillars, the hands-down choice for you or your loved one. Been there. Know people who live there. They love it. You gotta go to Dousman and see it in person. Get all the info on Three Pillars at threepillars.org.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel,
John Anderson, Super Bowl champion Bryan Bulaga with you as always. Ahead of Packers Vikings here in the final week of the regular season out at US Bank Stadium, which is where we head now. Joining us as he always does, ESPN NFL Nation reporter Rob Demovsky covering the Packers like a blanket. And Rob, I guess I just want to confirm you are active for today's game, correct?
Yes, there's
unfortunately, I have to be here and pay attention to this.
Keyword, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
The Clayton Tune game, Rob. What do you make of Clayton Tune, who obviously played some college ball with Matthew Golden, who I'm sure we'll see a little bit of today, but he'll get his only second start in his NFL career today.
Yeah, that would be about the only interesting thing, barring some sort of injury to somebody who means something for the playoffs. But if they can get Matthew Golden going, that might be a nice thing to end the regular season on, especially after a strange week in which offensive coordinator Adam Stenovich basically said, yep, he won't be a high priority during the playoffs, and then Matt LaFleur tried to clean up the mess the following day in his press conference. So, but yeah, it's interesting. I think I counted. There were more than 20 roster moves this week. I lost count. I stopped counting at 20.
I think I saw 23. I think the final count got to 23.
Yeah, I need to go back and double check that. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy.
Wow. Okay.
As long as we're speaking about Matthew Golden, I'm just so confused about his rookie season in totality, and then the way, not even just Steno was talking about him this week, Rob, but the way that LaFleur was like, well, it's not very often that, a receiver comes in, you have all these established guys. He didn't walk into the 2010s Packers receiving room with Jennings and Driver and Jordy and James Jones. Like, none of these guys coming into this year ever had over 700 yards receiving in a season. I just don't understand why they felt like they couldn't plug him in and use him more. I understand the injury's late, but his snap counts have been pretty low all season.
I think this, Gabe, is probably why Brian Gutekunst never wanted to draft a receiver in the first round, because he knows this offense doesn't operate that way, and really hasn't operated that way since Devontae Adams left, a few years ago. And it's just it's maddening, it's baffling. But, you've heard Jordan Love say it a million times. I just throw to the open guy. You heard Matt LaFleur say I go through my progressions. Well, how about making Matthew Golden higher up in the progression then, right, on certain plays? So, I don't get it. And I said this, I think I said this on Wilde and Tausch without Wilde on Friday, that remind me next summer in training camp when I'm raving about some guy and he looks really good, to remind me that Matthew Golden had an unbelievable training camp, caught everything thrown his way, and it didn't mean anything.
The thing that bothers me is I saw a list this week, and I'm just going to read it for you quick because it's rather depressing. These are first-round wide receivers since 2015 who have not scored or did not score a single touchdown in their rookie season, which Matthew Golden looks to buck that trend today in the final game of the regular season. Kevin White in 2015, Josh Doxson in 2016, Laquan Treadwell, who some remember, the former Viking, in 2016, Corey Davis, John Ross, Mike Williams in 2017, Kadarius Toney in 2021. Those are first-round wide receivers.
I was going to say John Ross had to be on that list. That guy was like a top 10 pick, right?
Yeah, number 9 overall in 2017.
Yeah. But no, it's not a good list to be on. And I don't know that it's any fault of Matthew Golden's. I really don't.
I don't either. But
it's just strange, Alex.
Just a depressing trend nonetheless. John, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, people are still impressed by John Ross's speed, and he would get signed tomorrow by somebody because how fast he is. That's why he was the first time. And I agree with Robin. Like, it's kind of the old, right? You hear coaches say all the time, we teach a bunch of stuff, but the important stuff is what you emphasize. And so they have all these guys, and I don't know that they've emphasized Golden. And so to your point of his production, would you say it's disappointing or not? I don't know, because I don't know that they've emphasized him in the least to go ahead and do that. Now, maybe in the parts of practice we don't see, in the room they've decided he doesn't deserve that kind of attention in the offense. But it does seem like maybe since you're after him, you should give it a shot to see if he can handle that, which is what I find to be.
You're right, John. We don't know what happens in practice. We don't know if he runs the wrong route too many times, or if he's lined up the wrong spot, or dropping the ball. Like that part we don't know. So, but that I don't have any other explanation for it other than those things possibly happening.
Unless they want to start a new streak this year, it'll be 1 year in a row that they have not drafted a player a wide receiver in the first round. I don't know. Maybe that's just it.
Start to count.
Yep.
So, John, not John, sorry. Rob, gosh, sorry. Go ahead, John. My bad.
Yeah, I want to like what do you functionally do with Clayton Tune? Like, I feel like this could be a game that could be over in 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of that. But who's going to run the ball? I guess, right? I mean, you have Emmanuel Wilson and Chris Brooks. They didn't elevate anybody on the running back position. Strong, right? Pierre Strong, that's his name on the practice squad. He was not elevated. So, yeah, it's going to be bizarre, man. And I mean, you just look at Clayton Tune's last and only start. I get it. It was as a rookie for the Arizona Cardinals, but he was 11 of 20 with 2 interceptions and a lost fumble in a 27-0. I think it was 27-0 loss to the Browns. So I don't have a lot of expectations other than, perhaps the game will go quickly if they run the ball a bunch. But, the offensive line that they're going to start is not exactly, a starting all-star offensive line either. So it's going to be hard for him to function. I assume the Vikings are going to play most of their healthy players.
Who is exactly going to play today? Like, who is and who isn't going to play today? Well, I guess is my question. Like,
here's the thing. Like, you have to dress 48 guys, right? And so you have 53 plus 2 practice squad elevations. So you can only, make, 7 guys inactive. But that doesn't mean that guys won't dress and not play. I mean, we'll just start on the offensive line. I don't think Rasheed Walker's going to play. I don't think Aaron Banks is going to play. And I don't think Sean Ryan's going to play. And I don't think Zach Tom's going to play. Running backs, I don't think Josh Jacobs is going to play. Receivers, I don't think Christian Watson plays. Not sure who else is in that situation. I guess we flip over to the defensive side of the ball. Does Rashawn Gary play? I mean, does he deserve to be held out?
Someone's got to play that position.
Right. Linebacker, I mean, I doubt Quay Walker or Edgerrin Cooper plays, but you have enough guys. You've got, McDuffie and Hopper, and you can play nickel all day. I don't know if Keyshawn Nixon's going to play, but they obviously are going to want to get Trevon Diggs some snaps. And then, at safety, I don't know. They don't have a ton of safeties. I don't know if you can rest McKinney and play, I guess it would be Bullard and Evan Williams because you don't have Zane Anderson. I don't know. I mean, it's you can't. You're right. You can't rest everybody.
Rob Demovsky with us here on Green Bay Game Day ahead of Packers-Vikings Week 18 of the regular season. I want to ask you about 2 guys on the Packers defense that I would love to hear your perspective on, Rob. You mentioned Trayvon Diggs. They signed him on Wednesday after he was released by the Dallas Cowboys. He'll make over $58,000 for being active today, a one-time payment there. So good little payday there for Trayvon Diggs. And the other name I want to ask you about, Rob, is Colin Oliver, the rookie edge rusher who will be, it sounds like he'll be active for the first time. I asked Jason about him last week, and he said, I think part of the excitement around him is the mystery. We don't really know what the Packers are getting with Colin Oliver. So on Diggs and Oliver, what do you make?
Yeah, I think with Diggs, you find out today, can he still play a little bit, right? And which actually is a good trial for them to know if you can trust this guy in the playoffs. I mean, if he goes out there and can't cover anybody and he gets beat time after time, then you probably know, okay, I'm not going to play him next week. Colin Oliver, I mean, we haven't seen him on the field since rookie. I think he practiced the first day of rookie minicamp, or they only had 2 practices, maybe it was both, and then we didn't see him until a couple of weeks ago. He's an undersized edge guy who's got some speed and some athletic ability. But those undersized guys, you never really know when they go up against a guy like Bryan Bulaga at tackle if he can get off the guy and get off the block. So it'll be interesting to see him. I guess I'm glad you gave me those 2 ideas of something to watch today because I didn't have a lot written on my notebook.
Happy to provide.
Go ahead, Rob. Gabe. Oh, sorry, Gabe. I'm sorry. I was going to ask.
Go after it.
I was going to say, hearing that offensive line not playing, are all of them hurt, or are we just deciding that they've all played well enough that they're just going to shut them down for this week? And
I think the fear, Brian, is just I think the fear is just further injury. I mean, Zach Tom, has obviously been out for a while. He actually seems like he's getting pretty healthy. So I think the thinking there is why put him in danger of having a setback. Rasheed Walker is fine. Sean Ryan he's fine relative to the time of the year we're in, right? I mean, nobody's fine, but not on the injury report or not with a serious ailment. And Aaron Banks, I think you just want to, give those guys a chance to get a little rest for the playoffs and maybe heal up whatever, minor ailments they have, but also, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Jordan Morgan play left tackle today, which would be an interesting look at him based on, Rasheed Walker being a free agent after the season. And do they pay him? Probably not. So, they drafted Jordan Morgan to play left tackle. He's played just about everywhere but left tackle. So I think that could be something to watch today. I just think it's the idea of, none of those offensive linemen are hurt to the point where if it was a real game, they wouldn't play. But it's not a real game, and they got a really, really big game next week.
Who's playing center?
I think it'll either be Jacob Monk or Lascitus Smith. One of those two guys. One will play guard and one will play center, I would imagine.
Cool.
Oh, boy.
Cool.
All right. That's
Cool.
good. And against this defense, that's good. That's good. Okay. Nice.
Is there any chance Clayton Tune looks at that and says, you know what, I'll pass? Or is he just like, this is my NFL chance, I've got to take it no matter what it is?
Well, pass. Hopefully, he's got time to pass. But I know what you mean, John. They didn't elevate Desmond Ridder or activate him, so I'm sure they don't want to have to play Malik Willis today at all. So Clayton Tune better be able to handle the
Rob,
50, 60 snaps. Or
Bill
whatever
Huber
it is.
reported yesterday that Jordan's going to be the backup.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Oh, boy.
Well, I did not see that.
Rob, are you looking at this game and saying, hey, I'll pass?
I normally take pretty detailed play-by-play notes during games, down distance, personnel, all that stuff. I'm going to have a hard time with that today. I really am, because I don't think I'm going to use any of that stuff.
Right. I look forward to reading whatever your game story is from this one, because it's...
Well, I don't actually. I'm going to give you a heads up here. I don't think I have one, because I'm pretty sure normally we file something right at the gun that's a quick hitter, 350-word takeaway. I'm pretty sure that about a week or so ago, I did something that is running tonight. I think it's just kind of where things stand with the team going to the playoffs or something like that. I don't know. I wrote it so long ago, I can't remember what it is. But I don't think I have to write off the game. So I don't know why I'm here.
It's preseason for everybody.
A quick postseason meal for Rob Demovsky in the Twin Cities. Well, hopefully next week we have more to talk about and more to look forward to as the Packers will play either in Chicago or Philadelphia. And Rob Demovsky will be there for us here on Green Bay Game Day. Thanks as always, Rob. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. We'll be seeing you.
We will get to our Network Health hero of the game and what feels like a glorified preseason game. Can we come up with 4 different names? We're certainly going to try. That's next on Green Bay Game Day.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse, followed by an evening of comedy in Club 41. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
When it comes to joint replacement, you want the best care available. The Orthopedic Surgery Center in Pewaukee is a leader in joint replacement, offering same-day surgery with advanced technology. Their team of experts specializes in knee, hip, and shoulder replacements, using the latest techniques to minimize pain and recovery time. By choosing them, you're choosing a center focused on providing specialized care tailored to your needs. The team at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin can get you back to what matters, living pain-free.
And their prices are more affordable than urgent care or the ER. And they'll send a full report to your primary care doctor. Why wait at the ER? Walk in to Ortho ASAP for faster, more affordable care.
Total joint replacement. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com. That's orthowisconsin.com.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with AccuTrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use AccuTrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. AccuTrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with sedans, SUVs, limos, vans, and buses. Book today at AccuTransGroup.com.
Is mud calling a timeout on your ride? A Tsunami Express Car Wash membership is your winning play. Get unlimited washes, fast lane access, and free vacuums every visit, all for less than $1 a day. With 7 Milwaukee area locations, including the newest spot in New Berlin, keeping your car in prime time condition is a total touchdown. Whether you're tailgating, heading to the stadium, or just cruising around town, make sure you roll up looking like a champ. Become a member today at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Hi, I'm Darren College. Are you aware that veterans die by suicide every year at a rate 4 times higher than those who died in combat? If you or a veteran in your life is struggling with work, their health, or home life, reach out. Together, we can help. Go to reachoutwis.org. We're here for you.
This project is funded in part by the Advancing a Healthier Wisconsin Endowment. reachoutwis.org.
Welcome back to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champion Bryan Bulaga, and of Wipeout fame, our buddy John Anderson is with us as well. All right, can we come up with 4 different names? This is the challenge of the day right here. There will be no harder segment for us to complete today on Green Bay Game Day than this one right here. It is time now for Network Health's I Need a Hero, and I am challenging us to have 4 different answers. Network Health, honored to serve many veteran members, also proud to count veterans among their employees because they're based right here in Wisconsin. They are able to develop health plans specifically with their veterans in mind. Who do I give the easy way out to? Let's go to Bryan Bulaga. Bryan Bulaga, I'm going to start with you today. Who is your hero in this glorified preseason game?
Well, I mean, you could have. Doesn't mean if you start with me first or last, I'm still going to have the issue of picking.
Yeah, but the field's more wide open for you right now.
Yeah, it is. It's more wide open. I guess I'll go with Golden. Right, like it'd be nice to see him find pay dirt and play well and maybe get some positive momentum going for this offense. Obviously, Toon knows him from previous playing, in college and all that. So it'd be good to see him have some production and play well and get some confidence. Is he gonna? Because are we gonna throw the ball a bunch? I don't know. Are we going to be able to throw the ball a bunch based on what Rob said about that offensive line? I don't think so.
Going to have to get the ball out quick.
Yeah, that's going to have to be like a 2-second from snap to throw. I don't know how many opportunities he will get. But if he does get any, I hope he makes the most out of them and plays a good game.
Yeah, Clayton Tune and Matthew Golden spent 2 years together at Houston, so at least a little bit of chemistry exists there. Gabe Neitzel?
I'll go with Tyron Hopper on the defensive side of the football. And again, I'm just looking at this from a perspective of We've heard some about this guy and his athleticism in training camp the last 2 years. Obviously hasn't gotten on the field a ton with as much as the Packers are in nickel. They love Quay Walker, Edgerrin Cooper. While he hasn't had the year this year that he had last year, obviously he's still important to that defense. But with all the stories this week, it seems like Quay is not going to be a Green Bay Packer next season. It seems like he has priced himself out, and the Packers aren't going to be able to afford to re-sign him. That means somebody has to step up. That very well could be the draft pick from 2 years ago in Tyron Hopper. He has to play well in order to keep this game. If they're going to win this game, it has to be ugly, muddled, 13-10, 16-13, something like that. So somebody on this defense has to make plays. And the Vikings are going to want to try to run it. He's going to have to be big in stopping the run.
The sneaky good thing you just did that I don't even think you realized you did before I go to John Anderson is you took the only Missouri Tiger on the roster. John Anderson, your hero of the game.
Wait, so Jamon Moore's not even on the practice squad anymore?
No, he's not. He's not. I hate to break it to you.
The practice squad? Yeah, we're big with Hopper. I feel like Clayton Tune, like you take classes that are pass-fail, he's traction or not traction. That's how his day comes down with the line he's going to face and the people that are going to come after him. But it's the guy behind, if Wilson, I'm curious with Emmanuel Wilson all the time.
Yeah.
Because I watch him run, he's unbelievable. You could argue he's been better in his limited carries than Josh Jacobs. I want to see him go today when he has no blocking, because I feel like Jacobs does a lot of work when there's no block. And I think Wilson eventually could put Jacobs out of a job. If it didn't, that the contract was so Packer friendly with Josh Jacobs, right? I could see where they'd take this guy immediately, elevate him to the starter, and let Jacobs walk. I don't think, such as the financial investment in Jacobs, that becomes a real threat. But it's a possibility. And I think right now, every time Wilson's come in, he's played really, really well. So what's he do today when he's going to have what appears to be a slog running the ball in front of him? And if he really does well, I think that eventually could have a change in how the running back depth chart, the running back room looks going forward.
Why did I put myself last?
You're a good host.
Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Make Goody look smart, because he's been really good. Goody has been pretty good track record on low risk, high reward moves. This could look like another one with this Trayvon Diggs signing here ahead of Week 18, and he's going to get some action. And Justin Jefferson's playing, so he's going to see real guys on the other side. So Trayvon Diggs would be a pick, though. The Packers only have not very many interceptions this season. 7, I think. I think they're 28th in the league in turnovers.
More than the Jets.
Baltimore's not done his job.
Everybody's got more than the Jets, Gabe. Looking to become the first team. Did you say this on the air or off the air?
No. So Adam Schefter tweeted this out earlier today. So since the NFL started tracking interceptions in 1933, no team has ever gone the entire season without an interception. The Jets, through 16 games, have 0 interceptions.
That's terrific. That is terrific.
Don't come this far to not make history, man. It's not where you're going to, right? Do not be a hero. Let it hit the ground.
Don't come this far to not make history. Good line. All right. Jason Wilde joins us from U.S. Bank Stadium. The Jason Wilde Hour of Green Bay Game Day is coming up right after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right.
The holiday season is here, and the countdown to 2026 has begun at Lake Lawn Resort. With all the holiday stress happening these days, imagine waking up next to a cozy fire in your own private suite along the shoreline of Delavan Lake. Enjoy much-deserved pampering at the award-winning Caladora Spa and special holiday dining options throughout the resort all month long, including at the signature 1878 on the lake. Book your holiday escape today, and don't forget to purchase those last-minute gift cards and receive free bonus money at Lake Lawn Resort, where the spirit of the season comes to life and everything is truly better at the lake.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Hey, it's your friend John McGivern. In a world full of chaos, I'm grateful for a health plan that has my back. Network Health is so reliable and trustworthy, they always put me and over 126,000 members first. It's just what they do and what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 15 retired in honor of Butch Lee. He finished in 78, and the number retired the next season. It's hard to believe that any player could ever equal what Butch Lee did at Marquette. Part of the national championship team in 77, and the Final Four MVP, and the next season, the consensus National Player of the Year. So much success, it's not necessary to bring up any statistics. Number 15, Butch Lee, did everything. Running a business means taking care of your team and your bottom line. For over 50 years, Saganiac Planning has helped small businesses build smarter, more affordable medical and employee benefit plans. From health insurance to customized coverage options, our experts make it simple to protect your people and your future. Saganiac Planning, your partner in planning confidence. Visit SaganiacPlanning.com or call John Saganiac Jr. today to get started. 262-783-6161.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Williams, and I want to share with you the role that diabetes has had in my family. I lost my grandmother at the early age of 64 due to complications with diabetes. She was warm, generous, and a constant encouragement for me to follow my heart. Did you know that African Americans experience chronic kidney disease at a rate that's 25% higher than white Americans? And we're almost 4 times more likely to develop kidney failure. Diabetes and high blood pressure are leading causes of kidney disease, which can result in kidney failure, needing dialysis, or a kidney transplant. The good news is that you have the power to check out how well your kidneys are doing and learn ways to prevent them from failing. So go to your doctor and get yourself checked out. Visit linkmylovetv.org to learn more. Get the facts, get checked, and get healthy.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's finally game day.
Willis, another dart, another catch. It's Watson for the touchdown. Willis, 2 strikes, and right back at you. Green Bay has life at home.
And the countdown to kickoff starts now.
Willis pulls, Willis runs, Willis scores. Touchdown, Green Bay.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Now broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Here's Alex Strouf.
The most punctual show on the radio. It's Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champion Bryan Bulaga, John Anderson with you. And it is time now for the Jason Wilde Hour on Green Bay Game Day. Jason Wilde, the 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, co-host of Wilde and Tausch, and Packers insider at channel3000.com, joins us from U.S. Bank Stadium. Jason, almost 10:12, right on time. Good to see you in the Jason Wilde Hour.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
We're good. Not an exit behind you at U.S. Bank Stadium. I assume you are in the press box. You're not using somebody's office. Where are we?
I am in the press box, yes. I try to be thoughtful like I was in Chicago, where I'm not disrupting other people while they're trying to eat their breakfast burritos and their fruit. A lot of good fruit this morning. Very happy about that. So, yes, from U.S. Bank Stadium, you guys, I got to be honest, I listen to you guys. I listen to Demovsky. Obviously, I wanted to be here early. Didn't realize I'd be a half hour early on the stream. But, I mean, I'll say this, and I'll send you guys this, and maybe Will wants to play it on the show. I thought something that Jeff Hafley said. Now, granted, I understand that I am one of about 8 people on the planet who like preseason football, and this is kind of the January equivalent of that. But, like, there's a bunch of dudes today that are going to get an opportunity to, as Jeff Hafley put it, the opportunity of a lifetime that could change their football lot in life. And not everyone is a first-round pick like Bryan Bulaga. There are guys here. We're talking to Jalen Simpson this week. And the dude's excited that he's going to get a playoff share now. Like, that's real money to him, right? He spent the entire year on the practice squad. He's going to play today. Bo Melton's going to potentially have a chance to play both ways today. We're going to get a look at Trayvon Diggs. So Rob doesn't have to necessarily take notes from this game, but there's interesting, compelling angles to this game. Do I think they're going to win it? I do not.
Hold on real quick. Gabe, Jalen Simpson, what position does he play?
It doesn't matter. Like, which is the problem, Jason. Like, again, yes, those are nice stories. And Bo Melton, I know you're the biggest Bo Melton fan outside of his family on the planet, but Bo Melton playing both ways, well, yes, is fun for today, doesn't do anything for me in terms of the Packers winning next week at either Chicago or Philadelphia, but like at least with somebody like Tyron Hopper. Okay, now I can see if he is going to be a suitable replacement in against real NFL starters potentially next year for Quay Walker, who I think is gone.
It was a good choice for hero of the game. Yes.
Watching at left tackle to see if Jordan Morgan is going to be a suitable replacement at left tackle, who is somebody we've obviously talked about a lot this year because nobody thinks that Rasheed Walker is going to be back. I get those things. But, like, again, like, and good for Jalen Simpson that he gets that money. Like, I'm glad for him. But, like, as a fan, I don't know how much that does for me when I'm just wanting my team to end a 4-game, or not go into the playoffs on a 4-game losing streak and potentially go into Chicago or Philadelphia and give me confidence that they can win that game.
Jalen Simpson, second-year safety out of Auburn. Go ahead, Jason.
So there is something that's going to happen today that's going to increase their chances of winning in Chicago or Philadelphia. Jordan Love's not going to get hurt. Christian Watson's not going to get hurt. And I understand that that's not sexy and that's not fun, and the next 3 hours are going to feel like a waste of time. I totally get it. I'm not saying that everyone should gather around the television like they gathered around the radio to listen to Little Orphan Annie with their decoder ring to find out that they should drink their Ovaltine. But, like, I'm sorry. I have shifted my position on this because at the beginning of the week,
I was about to say I was with you on Tuesday. We were very much in lockstep here.
Yeah, and then the more I thought about it, and the more I talked to some of the guys in the locker room, like, look, this game against this defense, and again, I feel, and it's not fair to Clayton too, right? Like,
no,
I mean, it's not at all. You were certainly right about that. As Tausch likes to say, even though he's quoting the wrong movie and the wrong character in the wrong movie, good luck, which is supposed to be Liam Neeson, I think, but it's not really.
It's not.
I think it's the villain.
Correct.
That actually does that.
That is the villain in the movie, yes.
The bottom line is he's getting put in a tough spot. And the only thing that I look at today that they cannot allow to happen is to have to play one of their either Malik Willis, who has 2 injuries, or Jordan Love, who is now fully healthy, and keep him off the field. And that whole thing, I understand they had to juggle the roster, but my criticism of this game is that they did not promote Desmond Ridder.
Correct.
Yeah, agreed.
I just, with this defense, I don't know enough about Clayton Tune to know if he's elusive enough not to get hurt against this defense.
Yeah.
Because Brian Flores isn't going to come in here and go, well, we should be nice to this poor Clayton Tune fellow because he's not ready for what we're about to bring down upon him, right? And so, to me, that's the one thing. Like, if they get out of this without having to do that, I don't even know what they would do. Like, would they just have Love hand off? Like, how would they approach it? because I read what Bill Huber wrote, and remember earlier in the week when LaFleur said this, like, I asked one of the top 5 most unprofessional questions I've ever asked. Matt, you'd be kicking yourself if something happened to Clayton Tune, and then Jordan had to go in, and then something happened to Jordan. Are you really thinking about having him be the backup? Like, that's probably not my job to ask it that way, and I'm not proud of it. But it was what I was thinking, and that they have to. I hope Clayton Tune makes it through unscathed, because I didn't think there was any way that Desmond Ridder would not be active.
Because making him the backup flies in the face of literally everything else that you're doing.
Yep, correct. Makes absolutely no sense.
Indeed. Yep.
Okay.
I'm on your I'm glad we can agree on one thing, Gabe. Now, Bo playing both ways. Let's go. Aren't you like? But the Trayvon Diggs piece of this to me is really interesting.
Yes,
right?
That I agree with.
Yep. Because he could actually play next week.
Well, Bo will play too. I don't know if he'll
on special teams
snaps or as much of a role. Like, here's another. Again, I think in terms of storylines, I was talking to JJ Edegbare during the week. He indicated that he was not playing. Does that mean Rashawn Gary is? Because if we're basing it solely on who
how do you tell?
Protect, well, because he'd have his jersey on.
Good pop.
Good pop. Good pop.
But is he at the point now where he's not valuable enough to be one of the guys you have to protect by not playing? Because I got to be honest, if it's based solely on merit, he should have to play today. He doesn't deserve the day off.
Well, yeah.
And you could spin it as, hey, he's trying to get his 2.5 sacks to get to double digits, which he's been trying to get for 9 games. I don't know. The Diggs piece is really interesting to me. The Matthew Golden piece is interesting to me. You know, Steno makes that comment on Thursday about he's not going to be in a premier position in the playoffs, and then LaFleur kind of comes out and talks about how important he is. Steno was the one who was telling the truth. Like, Steno says in his answer, hey, he's got a very bright future, but and Gabe, I think we talked about this when he filled in on Tuesday, like, who are you taking off the field for him? Are you taking Christian Watson off the field for him right now? Are you taking Jaden Reed off the field for him? Are you taking Romeo Doubs off the field for him? Frankly, if he wasn't in the concussion protocol, would you take Dontavion Wicks off the field for him? What did he do? Think about what he did in Detroit. Right. So, I think there are some interesting things to keep an eye on. I am not going to try and sell you on the fact that this is a game that everyone's going to thoroughly enjoy watching. Thank you.
We're having fun on Green Bay Game Day here on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ. I do want to dive into the Matthew Golden thing again at some point with Jason while he's with us until roughly 11 o'clock this morning, because that was such a fascinating back and forth with Adam Stenavich, the offensive coordinator, and the media earlier this week. But a couple other things to cover. We will get to yes or no. We will get to the injury report in about 9 minutes and see who's officially inactive for the Packers. That is all still ahead this hour on Green Bay Game Day. Hey, Green and Gold fans, it is game day. Kick off your tailgate with Bacardi, whether it's a Bacardi and Cola, lime and soda, or spiced in Cola. Bacardi, your game day go-to. Grab a bottle at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum 40% alcohol by volume. More with Jason Wilde live from US Bank Stadium. Coming up right after this on Green Bay Game Day.
More Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse, followed by an evening of comedy in Club 41. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
When it comes to joint replacement, you want the best care available. The Orthopedic Surgery Center in Pewaukee is a leader in joint replacement, offering same-day surgery with advanced technology. Their team of experts specializes in knee, hip, and shoulder replacements, using the latest techniques to minimize pain and recovery time. The team at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin can get you back to what matters, living pain-free. Total joint replacement. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Put a little wow in your winter at the 31st Annual Lake Geneva Winterfest and America's Snow Sculpting Invitational, January 28th through February 1st. Watch 15 top teams create breathtaking masterpieces in snow right before your very eyes. Enjoy bonfires on the beach, a kids' play area, live entertainment, and a sparkling downtown ice sculpture walk. Plan your Winterfest getaway at visitlakeggeneva.com. Lake Geneva, where it's always been the place for winter magic.
Hey sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game changer. Move beyond the ordinary. V Private Bar Services crafts custom cocktails tailored to your brand and your guests' tastes. Imagine a bar experience that's as unique as your business. Our expert mixologists will create a memorable experience that your clients and team will rave about. From signature cocktails to full-service bars, we've got you covered. Be the MVP of your next event. Visit vprivatebar.com to book today.
A new exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card is your opportunity to go from cardholder to ticket holder for the FIFA World Cup 2026. For a limited time, when you're approved for a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card, you're eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more today at bfa.com/cardfwc26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America N.A. in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-885-3333. That's 800-885-3333.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
There are many times I thought, I can't do this. I mean, what parent isn't worried about? What am I not doing right? What am I not doing enough? And then I realized, wait, that's being a parent.
Don't worry about being perfect. I've had around 3 other mother figures in my life, but only one of them has taught me how a mother loves.
The greatest reward for me is he makes me better every day.
I would tell a family considering adopting a teenager that teenager, whoever it is, needs you, and they need what you have to offer.
Taylor's given me hope. He's our son, and that is what he will always be.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Nice to see John Anderson get added to our break screen graphic of Green Bay Game Day. He must have missed Media Day earlier this year when we took all those photos. Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel, John Anderson, Super Bowl champion Bryan Bulaga, and Jason Wilde with us this hour live from US Bank Stadium as we continue to preview Packers-Vikings coming up in about 90 or so minutes. Out in Minnesota. The regular season finale, the Packers have nothing to specifically play for, so a bunch of guys are not going to go today. It is Clayton Tune, the starting quarterback for Green Bay, who we saw a little bit last week against Baltimore after Malik Willis went down. Jason, what do we know about Clayton Tune? He's been on the practice squad most of this year, was elevated last week with Jordan Love out, played a little bit. Now we'll get his second career start, first in a Green Bay Packers uniform today in Minnesota, but a good college career for Tune, bounced around the league a little bit. What do we know about the Packers QB1 today in Minnesota?
Yeah, bounced around in college a little bit too, right? Started at Arizona, transferred to Houston, was teammates for a year with Matthew Golden there. His older brother, who's 12 years older than him, I know there's a lot of Anderson kids, but one of his older brothers played quarterback in North Texas. Look, this is again, as we discussed in the previous segment with our very positive outlook for today's game, it's too bad he's not going to have much of an offensive line in front of him potentially, because this is a pretty big audition for him, right? I mean, let's not lose sight of the fact that it's unlikely, maybe not as, I don't know what the market is going to be for Malik Willis. I really don't. I think there's going to be a market there. What he has done tells you there's going to be a market there. But again, I don't know that for certain, but I would assume so. This is a great audition to say, hey, you already got your backup for 2026. Now, I don't know if he's being put in the greatest position to succeed. I'm very curious to see what kind of game plan Matt LaFleur has, because, Brian, you know this. It's your job to put these guys in position to succeed. And with the personnel that they're going to trot out there against Harrison Smith and all the Vikings starters, this is like playing one of those preseason games against like Jeff Fisher, who was always adamant about playing all of his starters in the last preseason game. And you guys would play like one snap if Rodgers could throw a touchdown on the first play. I mean, this is, it's not exactly going to be a level playing field out there for Clayton Tune. But, look, he was incredibly productive in college. He was a fifth-round pick coming into the league. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. But he was not very impressive. And I have never, as I said to you, I've never seen him throw a pass in 11 on 11 other than what I saw during the game last week. Like, he wasn't here for training camp. So I don't really know what he is. And if we're going to judge him based on the 4 passes he threw, which, again, Bo Melton, I could be critical of Bo. Bo has to catch that ball. That said, it was not spiraling. It was rotating.
It was a knuckleball.
As Bob Uecker would say, the best way to catch a knuckleball is wait for it to stop rolling.
I just know John Anderson's got the warm and fuzzies thinking of this being a dress rehearsal for Clayton Tune as the potential backup next year.
No, listen, I will say this. The guy started a bunch of games in college, which matters because I know this sounds dumb, but he knows how to get guys in and out of a huddle. Play like some of those things matter when guys get in and back up. They can't literally run the mechanics of the game. And so I think in that regard, it serves him well. The fact that LaFleur's play sheet, he's going to bring it out on like a 3x5 note card, probably doesn't seem as good. He's going to be like, how many plays you got? Well, we got 4, but 8, depending if you run them to the left or the right. We can double it up. So I feel like that part's going to be a little tough on the guy. When he comes through, I'm with Jason. I think Malik Willis has made himself a ton of money. And at least, if nothing else, a ton of opportunity in places that he didn't get because of what happened in Tennessee. But Tune has, I think if they should send Tune out and when they win the toss and they elect to defer, they're like, we defer and just go home. That's what we've deferred. We've deferred even on playing. We've decided we're going right
at least defer on both halves.
Yeah, right, exactly. You can have it. You can have it again and see what happens. So, but I think those are some of the things that you'll judge the guy with to some degree are professionalism. How does he handle himself in these situations? You're literally walking into what appears to be adversity from the first snap. And if he can do all those things and handle that, I think he earns himself at least a trip back for training camp and to find and win a job. Right now, understandably, those are kind of low bars, but the team has one, right? The question I would have to you, Jason's literally is there a goal in this game other than let's make sure guys are healthy? Because some of these guys that are playing, they're not going to end up having any participation in the following game. That's the biggest thing. Is what am I writing on my goal board for the guys when you go out there? Because you strip this thing down so much that I really don't know how you motivate these guys to go get in there because, it's your opportunity, but your opportunity for what? To be seen in training camp next year? I don't know. I think that's a hard thing. I get what Hafley was saying, But I'm like, I don't care if somebody comes out of here and rips it. I don't know that they appreciably move themselves up on a depth chart anywhere.
Right. I agree. By the way, I know we'll get to the inactives coming up, but I do think it's important to say right now, Jordan Love is active. He is the backup. It is not Malik Willis, who has a hamstring injury and the right shoulder injury. And it's not Desmond Ridder, who is still on the practice squad. Again, I'm going to knock on wood on Jordan's behalf and say Godspeed, Clayton Tune. And I'm sure they have a plan for if somehow they wound up in that situation. But my goodness, I still can't. I'm blown away by that.
This is something.
So John's 100% right. Like Jalen Simpson, who I'll tell you this, I hope he's on the team next year because he's a really good quote. And media starts with me. But, like, he's auditioning to be on this team in the offseason and try to get a roster spot in 2026, right? Clayton Tune, we just talked about. But there are guys on this team, like, you guys mentioned Tyron Hopper, and I don't hold the fact that he went to Missouri against him, even though I should. Like, he's a guy that is playing for now and is also getting ready for – Quay Walker has dealt with injuries, right? And they didn't exactly play Tyron Hopper a ton this season when he was out. If he does some stuff today, maybe they do find a greater role for him, right? So I do think there are things that are applicable for next week, whether they play the Bears or the Eagles. But no, I'm not some sort of Pollyanna here who wants to tell. Like, I want you to watch the game if you live in the Madison area because it's on Channel 3. Other than that, I get it. If you got other things you'd like to accomplish, you want to go ice skating or something, I get it. This is not going to be that appealing to you. So, but I will say this, and I understand that this is the least sexy reason to care about this. This team has been besieged by injuries.
Mm-hmm.
And while it's going to suck for fans to watch I use the hashtag PackersJV for my post. Like, while that may not be ideal, I'm telling you, we would be. Think about last year, and I firmly believe that Matt LaFleur, if last year's finale doesn't play out the way it did, I think he probably does play guys because he does want to. Everything Gabe you said about the losing streak and feel good about how you're playing and everything else. But and I don't want to swear on the radio, so I'll just say Christian Watson tearing his ACL and Jordan Love banging his elbow and not being able to grip a football scared the poop out of him. And he does not want to see it. He's already seen his best player on each side of the ball be lost for the season. He just had a couple of games back-to-back where he had dudes suffering season-ending injuries, one after another. Like, by the way, you don't think Matt LaFleur wants to pad his number by another win when he doesn't exactly know what his future is? Like, he's not doing this because he's trying to keep his job or whatever, the fan base is frustrated with him on. He's doing this because he thinks he cannot afford to lose more good players in a game that means absolutely nothing. And that's why he's taking the approach he is.
Yep. Spot on. All right, time now for, I typically call this the injury report. It's more the inactive report today, which is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com today for info. Okay, big names on this list today. Grab your notepad because there's some big ones. Let's just go in order of jersey number. Number 2, quarterback Malik Willis is inactive. So that is what Jason was alluding to. Jordan Love will serve as the backup to Clayton Tune today. Number 7, linebacker Quay Walker is inactive. Number 8, running back Josh Jacobs is inactive. Number 13, wide receiver Dontavian Wicks inactive for Green Bay. Number 29, the reigning All-Pro safety Xavier McKinney is inactive for the Packers today. Number 50, their best offensive lineman, tackle Zach Tom, is inactive today, and the final inactive for Green Bay is number 56, linebacker Edgerrin Cooper. So this goes back to the Tyron Hopper conversation. Both Quay Walker and Edgerrin Cooper are inactive today, so we'll certainly see plenty of the Missouri Tiger, Tyron Hopper, today. Only a couple of note for Minnesota. Old friend running back Aaron Jones is inactive for Minnesota today. Tight end TJ Hawkinson also inactive, which neither of those are surprises, but worth noting for Minnesota. So one more time. Malik Willis, Quay Walker, Josh Jacobs, Dontavian Wicks, Xavier McKinney, Zach Tom, Edwin Cooper. Those are your 7 inactives today. That's a pretty good inactive team right there. It's like that'd be a good 7-on-7 roster.
I'm surprised Christian Watson's not one. I thought one of those linebackers would play, and Christian Watson. Just again, I don't. I think.
He probably won't play.
But I just again, I would rather have him sitting in bubble wrap in the back of the bench area. So if there's a play that comes into the sideline, he's not in danger there.
Jason, when
that is history, right? Like that would happen to him.
I'm trying to think of my time in Green Bay, and the only time I can remember this many guys like this sitting was 2011, right? And like that was the time I could think of guys sitting that much in the final week of the season. Obviously, Flynn goes out and plays against Detroit.
It's a hell of a game.
Yeah, it was a great game too, and he gets his money from Seattle, right? That's how he earned his money, from Seattle to go. But do you remember? Because I don't remember a final week of the season that Mike, even Matt, right? Even Matt, when his first year, when we essentially had we have the 2 seed locked up, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. That this ever took place, right? Like I don't recall Mike or Campy or even Matt for that, saying, "Hey, we're a little worried about you getting hurt or this guy getting hurt or that guy getting hurt. We're gonna sit everybody just because we think somebody could get hurt." Like I don't ever recall that. Like that's never been. I don't know. It's never happened. I don't remember that besides 2011. I will say that. Mike did that because there were guys banged up. I mean, the week prior, I got rolled into in Kansas City. I hurt my knee. They sat me for that final week. So, I get that. But, I just don't recall it, I guess.
I don't either. So let me ask you this. So obviously we look back on 2011 and you guys get beat at home by the Giants, right?
Which was, yes.
And I mean, you guys had lost, I think, 2 fumbles all season, and you guys turned it over with 3 fumbles in that one game.
Yep.
Obviously Rodgers didn't play great. The defense gives up a Hail Mary at the end of the half. A lot of stuff went wrong. Do you believe, because you were on that team, do you believe that you guys were sloppy and played poorly because you didn't play in the finale against the Lions, and then you had a bye, so you had gone 2 weeks and you were rusty and inept? Do you think even though you guys put up, Flynn puts up 480 yards and 6 touchdowns, do you think you guys played poorly in the playoff game because you didn't play in the finale and then had the bye, or did you just have the worst possible time to have the worst possible game as a 15-1 team playing at home as the number 1 seed?
Yeah, I mean, this is why I always think being the 1 seed and having the bye is sometimes not the best thing, right? Because you have a week off while everyone else is playing, right? And they're continuing momentum and they're staying hot, and whoever comes in to play you has already played, most likely, like we did in 2010, had to win multiple games to even get in and keep some momentum going and stay hot. And, you can't say it's directly blamed to that, but I could say that taking 2 weeks off and not playing, and then playing a Giants team that by all means had a ton of momentum, right? And you're trying to match their confidence and the intensity they come in with. Yeah, it's difficult. And you'd already played them. We already played them in New York, and it was a close game. We won by a field goal, if I recall, in 2011. It was a tight game there. So you kind of understood what that game was going to pan out like if, even if we were playing at in 2011, you say our peak powers, right? To be honest with you, because that game in New York was tight. So it was, you can't say it's exactly because of that and that decision, but I would assure you if you gave Mike another chance, he would have played guys. I guarantee he would have played guys just to keep guys in game. in game mode mindset. That's speed of the game. That's intensity of the game. That's just going out there and doing it. And then obviously you talk about the turnovers. It was cold in that game against Detroit, that final game. It was very cold. And like, that's part of the process of handling the ball when it's extremely cold out. And then you go do it against New York in a night game. It was very cold that night too. So like, there's something to be said about it for sure. I mean, that's why like I always like being the 1 seed is good. It means you're the best team in the conference, and that's great. But there's something to be said about playing. They're like just playing and getting guys out there to do it.
It's not a problem anymore. They're just the 7th seed nowadays every year, so they don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. So that's why like I try to think back, and that's why I asked you, because obviously you've been covering the team for a long time, and your memory's better on some of these things. I don't remember this many guys just sitting and like not injuries, right? Like just not hurt, not even. I mean, everyone's like we mentioned earlier, everyone is dealing with something right now. I mean, it's the final week of the season. Everyone's got a little something going on. That's obvious, but like just not playing because hey, you're a healthy scratch. We think you're ready to go for next week when. Most likely this would be a 4-game skid. And everyone could say, well, they played good against Chicago. They played good against Denver. Like, there's no moral victories, right? Like, there's no moral victories in the NFL. Like, you win or you lose. It doesn't matter.
Okay, there you go.
I was assuming we probably needed to get a break at some point. So
yeah, I was listening to you guys go back and forth though. We can get a break in whenever, as long as we hit a couple of them before noon. I'm willing to listen, sit back, and get educated ahead of this glorified preseason game between the Packers and the Vikings. Well, we're getting a break in. You're going to regret doing that, Jason, because coming up next, it's yes or no with Jason Wilde on Green Bay Game Day. That's next.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Game days are here, and your car needs to look as ready as you do. Before you hit the stadium, surf to Tsunami Express Car Wash, the ultimate pregame stop to roll in clean and confident. Our state-of-the-art tunnels treat, clean, protect, and dry every car to perfection. With 7 Milwaukee area locations, including our newest in New Berlin, we are wherever you need us. Sign up online, and your first wash is absolutely free. That's a $25 value on the house. Claim your free wash today at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with AccuTrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use AccuTrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. AccuTrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with sedans, SUVs, limos, vans, and buses. Book today at AccuTransGroup.com.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Whether your child is just learning to dribble or is already working on their threes, Bucks Youth Basketball Camps are the place to play, learn, and have a blast, too. Packed with games, skills challenges, and high fives, Bucks Youth Basketball Camps foster fun and teamwork for all skill levels. Get ready for your youngster to ball like a Buck. Learn more about upcoming Bucks Youth Basketball Camps at bucks.com/camps. That's bucks.com/camps.
Homer here from ESPN Milwaukee. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, 90 years old, say they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
Hey, it's John McGivern here. You know I love Network Health. One of the reasons is that they're local and they understand how important that is. Their exceptional customer service isn't just words on a page. It's what they do. It's what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel, John Anderson, Bryan Bulaga, and Jason Wilde with you here on the Jason Wilde Hour. Jason live from US Bank Stadium ahead of Packers-Vikings coming up at noon in the final week of the NFL regular season. We're running way late, which means we're going to do a rapid-fire edition of America's favorite game. It's yes or no with Jason Wilde.
Will today be the day there are black and white answers from our most respected journalist?
Possibly. I think we shouldn't be greedy. Maybe. You would certainly hope so.
It's time for Yes or No with Jason Wilde.
It is indeed time for Yes or No with Jason Wilde here on Green Bay Game Day. Rapid fire edition, though I'm not sure how rapid fire we can do this first question because I'm sure everybody will have thoughts on it. Jason, we, as always, start with you. Yes or no? Matthew Golden's rookie season should be viewed as disappointing.
Yes and no. It is okay to say that it's disappointing. At the same time, you know, and look, I understand he's thought the same thing that I'm about to say. Tedderolo McMillan has had an awesome rookie year. Emeka Egbuka has had a really, really good rookie year. They both went into teams that either didn't have number one wide receivers or didn't have great top receivers or had guys that have accomplished a lot in this league that got hurt. And the Packers, knock on wood, that's one of the few positions they've stayed pretty healthy at, right? Wicks is out today with a concussion, but since Watson's come back, he stayed healthy. Obviously, losing Jaden Reed in week 2. And that's the one thing I would say about this season when it comes to the offense and wide receivers and Matthew Golden. I was completely wrong about how much they were going to miss Reed. I thought that Golden was going to slide into that spot and have a bunch of production. And that did not happen. So it's okay to admit when you're wrong. And I could not have been more wrong about that. I'd be curious what this offense would have looked like with a healthy Jaden Reed all season long.
Yeah, me too. Good point by you. John Anderson, Matthew Golden's rookie season disappointing, yes or no?
Well, I was listening to the lead, and it says yes or no with Jason Wilde, so I feel like I'm not obligated to answer any of these questions now that I listen closely. Like, I don't even know why I have to be involved in this.
What a diva. I have to rename the game now? Yes or no with Jason Wilde and company?
I'm just saying.
Great job getting his picture in, though.
I would like to defer if that was the case. So, you know, I don't know. To be disappointing, yes or no, you have to set the standard of what you believe he was supposed to do, right? And seriously, what bar did you set for him? What was the bar when he came in? Was he supposed to have 800 yards and 40 catches?
Well, I'll defer to you. I guess what were your I'll defer to you. What were your expectations? You're a Packers fan. You were excited about that pick.
I would tell you, outside of Christian Watson, I think every one of the wide receivers is disappointing.
That sounds like a yes if I've ever heard one. Bryan Bulaga?
I'm with Jason. It's like yes and no. Like I mean, I don't really know. I mean, is it disappointing that he hasn't scored a touchdown? Yeah, that's disappointing. I thought that would certainly happen at some point in the season. Has he shown that he can be a playmaker and do things like that? Yes, he has.
Yeah.
So like, it's really hard to give a true answer on that. I mean, listen, I and Jason hit the two rookies that I was thinking of. They played yesterday that have had big impacts, and he's right. Different setup, different circumstances for the Panthers and Bucks. Mike Evans goes down for a long time. Emeka Egbuka essentially slides in, becomes the one. So like, different circumstances that Golden walked into than those guys. So that's a hard one to put a yes or a no on it.
I echo what I said last week in terms of being disappointed with how he's used. And I know, Jason, you pointed out the quarterback had mentioned that he's now running right routes and being where he should be, all those sorts of things. But for seemingly every season that we have seen Jordan Love at quarterback, or even with Aaron Rodgers, first-round picks got shoehorned in with playing time, to the point last year where they were doing something that nobody else has done in the NFL, and that's rotating guys at guard with Morgan and Ryan until Jordan Morgan suffers an unfortunate injury. So every time I see Matthew Golden, I see him with the ball in his hands, you can just tell that he's oozing with potential.
Yeah.
He didn't walk into the 2010-2011 Green Bay Packers wide receiving room. Like, there's a bunch of average guys at best. Christian Watson certainly has taken a step forward. Jaden Reed is one of those guys. But after that, you're telling me he couldn't have gotten some of those Romeo Doubs snaps? He couldn't have gotten... Yeah, Dontavian Wicks had a great game against Detroit. If Matthew Golden was given some of those same opportunities and got 8 targets in a game, do I think he could have done what Dontavian Wicks did? I do. So as much as I like Matt LaFleur, one of the criticisms I have is, all right, the theory is you play a bunch of young guys so they get experience. How come that changed for Matthew Golden? Why is he the one exception of first-round picks over the last handful of years that wasn't shoehorned playing time? Because that's what you've done everywhere else. Again, with the biggest example being doing something that nobody agrees with, wants to do, and rotating guys in at offensive line.
Good stuff from Gabe Neitzel.
Frustration there.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think you need to be a therapist to determine that. No, that's why I wrote it.
The 3 catches that he had against, and I know it's a couple weeks ago, against Denver, against the Broncos, like he had that back shoulder catch where he spins around and makes it look so smooth. Like, the Packers don't have another receiver that can make that catch look that easy. And it wasn't an easy catch.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
He suffers the shoulder injury in the Panthers game. Then he suffers the wrist injury in the Giants game. I think Brian would tell you that young players, it's a process to learn how to play through injury and play effectively. I would be curious to know what his snap counts would have looked like if those injuries don't happen, which aren't obviously serious enough. I think he missed 3 out of 4 games, and there was one game, the one game he did play, he played like 8 snaps or something ridiculous. Like that 4-game window was at a pivotal point in the season where I think you would have seen him elevating. Because remember, he had that big game, was it against Cincinnati, where he had like 3 catches for 86 yards?
Yes.
He had his moments. I think the timing of those injuries also factors in there. I don't think you're wrong in how you feel, Gabe. I just think there were some extenuating circumstances, and I don't disagree with you that it's not like they had vintage Devontae Adams, Greg Jennings,
Jordy Nelson, James
all
Jones
up at the same time. So that's fair. But again, like on the flip side of that statement, Romeo Doubs has gotten a ridiculous number of targets. Quarterback's very comfortable with him. And you and I both don't think that he's
I think that holds the offense back, Jason. I think that holds the offense back when a receiver. And again, Romeo has a spot in the league. But when he's your number one receiver, and you look at all the other dynamic playmakers across just look at the playoff teams in the NFC that are going to have dynamic playmakers on the outside. Like if Romeo Doubs is getting the most targets, I think that limits the offense.
Yeah.
Just to annoy you further, who holds the offense back more, him or Josh Jacobs?
You guys are going to fight one of these days over that. All right.
Misrepresent what I said. Feel free.
Second and final yes or no question today, Week 18 of the NFL season. I wrote this before the injury report came out, but we kind of assumed Jordan Love would be the backup, so I'm curious in everybody's answer with this one. Yes or no, Jordan Love's health is the number one priority today for Green Bay? Jason.
Well, I know we'll have this fine program again next week with the playoff game, and maybe more after that. But as my gift to you, even though I was on time and you weren't for today, so I don't owe you any yeses or nos, I'm going to say yes. So just keep him bubble wrapped on the sideline. I don't want anything bad to happen to Clayton Tune. But of course, my morbid curiosity, I'm sitting here going, what exactly are they going to do if that happens?
Yeah.
Hand it off 3 times and punt.
Yeah. I mean, I think they should just punt on first down. So just put Daniel Whelan out there. Maybe he can hand off, and then he can just stay out there.
I'm
got to make up for all those games where they didn't punt at all.
I'm just confused why they used the elevations where they did. I guess I get the linebacker with Walker and Cooper being out, but I don't really understand the tight end they elevated, but they don't want, I guess, Musgrave and Wiley, who's returning, to get hurt. I get it, sort of.
No offense to Quay, because, again, he's an important part of the defense. Who's more important next week to your success, Quay Walker or Jordan Love?
I think that's a pretty easy answer. So I actually know with this one, just given what they did this week. It should be, but they're not acting like it.
No, the answer is obviously no, because if it was the most important thing, he'd be inactive.
It should be, but it's right. I'm with you on that. That's how, I don't know. It changed a little bit after I wrote it. John Anderson, real quick. Jordan Love, health, number one priority for Green Bay.
Yeah, I will give you the same mixed signals as the Packers. Obviously, since we're starting someone else,
well done.
The answer is yes. And since we made him the backup, the answer obviously is no.
Well done.
Yeah, so we'll be right there. The key is he's active now. He needs to be active at the end of the game, too, is to not become inactive at any point during the game.
Yep. Brian?
Yeah, to me it is. I mean, he needs to be healthy going into the playoffs. I mean, because if you don't have him, I don't – do I think Malik Willis can win games? Sure, I do. But, going into a playoff game, I'd feel a lot better with Jordan Love starting the football game. I can assure you that. So, yeah, you'd like to keep him as healthy as possible. Again, I'm with everyone. I don't know why he's the backup. I don't get it. But there's a lot that I'm not getting today. I'll just put it that way. There's a lot that I'm not getting today. I think I've made that pretty clear. I've made that pretty clear from the opening segment.
Yeah, I was going to say, Brian, you're a sharp guy. Right? You usually got the T's crossed, the I's dotted. You seem puzzled today.
I am. And I'm going to say it because it's my old group. Linemen don't sit because they just to sit. They don't do that wasn't a thing. Sitton played, TJ played, Bakhtiari played, I played, Lindsley played. We played. That was just you play until the coach says, all right, you're good. You're done for the day. You play. And that's why I feel bad for Tune. Who's blocking for the guy? I feel really bad. It's a bad, you want him to succeed, but not sure. Just not sure how that's possible. And it's not knocking all the backup guys because, hey, they get an opportunity like Jason said. But they haven't played any games, and you're going against the defense that's super aggressive and good.
That's playing the majority of their guys.
Yes, I just don't. It's hard, man.
We are having fun on Green Bay Game Day. Very clearly, we are having a very good time. We are not freaking out at all. This is good. Hey, it's game day, and if you're heading up to Green Bay anytime soon, make a stop at Higher Love Cannabis Company, just over the border in Menominee, Michigan, less than an hour from Green Bay. Award-winning, locally owned, organically grown, the best in the Midwest. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD for more information. That's findhigherlove.com/CBD. We wrap up the Jason Wilde Hour with Jason Wilde live from U.S. Bank Stadium. Coming up next on Green Bay Game Day.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Looking for a delicious meal without breaking the bank? Cousin Subs has you covered. Our $10 meal deal gives you a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub piled high with fresh hand-sliced ingredients, crisp veggies, and all your favorite toppings. Add a bag of chips or regular fries, a fountain drink, and a cookie, all for just $10. This deal's available online or through the Cousins app only, and you can enjoy your meal at home, at work, or delivered straight to your door, hot and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better. Available at participating locations. Offer subject to change.
Selling your home during winter may surprise you. Serious buyers are still out there and often more eager to move.
Homes get strong offers this time of year, and with less competition, your listing can really shine.
I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber.
And I'm Lindsay Bendler. Our team leads with faith, gratitude, and giving back, donating over $200,000 to local causes since 2020.
Tony Wendorf & Associates is ready to get to work for you with our white glove selling experience. Just search online, Tony Wendorf.
A real estate team that always leads with faith and gratitude.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
For general contest rules, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
Here's a dose of reality. Driving under the influence of prescription painkillers is just as illegal and just as deadly as driving drunk. In fact, there are nearly 2,000 drug-related crashes every year in Wisconsin. Help prevent drug driving, and let's achieve 0 preventable deaths on Wisconsin roadways. Driving on pills kills. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Departments of Health Services, Transportation, and Justice.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse, followed by an evening of comedy in Club 41. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
Kyle Brust-Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal & Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal & Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies. They're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal & Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal & Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Spending a couple more moments with Jason Wilde here on Green Bay Game Day, which is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel, John Anderson, Super Bowl champ, Bryan Bulaga with you until noon, but Jason Wilde with us for just a few more minutes. All right, you actually seem excited for this one, Jason, because of all the storylines, all the different opportunity, some of the different guys we typically wouldn't see in a regular season game are going to see today in Minnesota. So I guess I'll give you the floor one final time. Give us your pitch for why this game actually is intriguing and exciting for Green Bay, who's resting a bleep ton of people.
No, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that because I already gave the pitch once, and I get it. I love Gabe. He's one of my favorite human beings. I get it. This is like having to eat your vegetables, and it being like the vegetables that you don't even like, right? Like they have the breakfast burritos there. If you'd have forced me to eat onions and peppers and mushrooms, I'm in trouble because I hate all three of those, right? So yeah, my love of storylines and opportunities, and I mean what Jeff Hafley said during the week, that was right up my alley, right? They've got these guys they now get to have the pen in their hand and write their stories. That's the kind of stuff I love. But I get it. This will not be fun. This will be a trip to the dentist for some Packers fans, because I don't want to sound like a kid that was on the media bus to Super Bowl 32 talking about the Packers, but in the complete bizarro version. I said that day, I don't see how the Packers lose this game. I don't see how the Packers win this game with the ragamuffin crew that they're going to play. My question for the four of you is, there's a lot of interesting stuff that happens the rest of the day here, right? Certainly the Aaron Rodgers component tonight. Is he going to end up in the playoffs with the Steelers? But my question for you four is, who do you want? Do you want the Bears or do you want the Eagles?
I
feel like
I would guess it's unanimous.
Unanimous?
Yeah.
Right. I gotta think it's the Bears, but I'm certainly open to being convinced otherwise.
Bears for me.
Yeah, best case scenario is both teams lose today, both the Bears and Eagles lose today, and then the Packers go to Chicago.
Yep, agreed.
Well, from your lips to Clayton Tune's ears.
Yeah, I think the Chicago trip's the one you want.
Yeah, without a doubt. The Packers have obviously seen them twice, and they should be 2-0. But what's the adage you always share, Jason? It's really hard to beat a team 3 times.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur playing chess when the rest of us are playing checkers.
Yeah. He told Romeo, don't fall on it. Don't fall on it. Yeah, it's exactly right. Well, Jason.
And we're going to keep putting you out there for that job, too, because you do such a good job.
Yeah, well, hopefully there's not another scenario in which they need to, so. We will see, though. All right, Jason, great job as always this season. Good news is we still have at least one more, but hopefully like 4 more of these to do the remainder of the way. We will talk to you next week. Wild Card Weekend, whether it's in Philly or Chicago on Green Bay Game Day, and I will talk to you later today on Green Bay Game Night. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you for your service, boys. We appreciate you. All right, take care. Be good.
That is Jason Wilde live from US Bank Stadium in Minnesota ahead of Packers Vikings, about 50 minutes away from kickoff in Week 18 of the NFL season. Hour 3 of Green Bay Game Day has a whole lot to get to in the next 50 minutes, and we will do it as Hour 3 begins right after this on Green Bay Game Day.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
You've already put in the work. Now there's a way to make it count towards your degree. At Lakeland University, your work and life experience can earn you college credit, helping you finish faster, saving time and money. With flexible evening and online classes, plus multiple start dates, Lakeland fits your life. Study 100% online at one of our 6 locations across Wisconsin or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. Customize your degree to fit your life, your goals, your future, without missing the moments that matter, at work or at home. Your experience matters here. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Is back pain slowing you down? When it comes to spine care, you need specialized expertise. At the OAW Spine Center, their orthopedic care specialists provide the highest level of care for everything from herniated discs to spinal fusion. They start with the most conservative, non-surgical treatments like physical therapy and injections. If surgery is needed, minimally invasive procedures at the OAW Spine Center will get you back on your feet faster. With a focus on treating the source of the problem, they take a comprehensive, active approach to spine health, getting you back to the life you love. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit OAWspinecenter.com. That's OAWspinecenter.com.
Is mud calling a timeout on your ride? A Tsunami Express car wash membership is your winning play. Get unlimited washes, fast lane access, and free vacuums every visit, all for less than $1 a day. With 7 Milwaukee area locations, including the newest spot in New Berlin, keeping your car in prime time condition is a total touchdown. Whether you're tailgating, heading to the stadium, or just cruising around town, make sure you roll up looking like a champ. Become a member today at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with AccuTrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use AccuTrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. AccuTrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with sedans, SUVs, limos, vans, and buses. Book today at AccuTransGroup.com.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad, and I feel very proud to be his son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
You know that feeling? Like every door is closing and you just can't see a way out? Being unemployed, underemployed, or just out of school can feel like that. But when you find the right tools, suddenly everything just clicks. FindSomethingNew.org offers resources that help develop new skills that can position you for careers in today's growing industries, from healthcare and manufacturing to cybersecurity and alternative energy. Find your path to a new career at FindSomethingNew.org. A message from the Ad Council.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. It's finally game day.
Willis, another dart, another catch. It's Watson for the touchdown. Willis, 2 strikes, and right back at you. Green Bay has life at home.
And the countdown to kickoff starts now.
Willis pulls, Willis runs, Willis scores. Touchdown, Green Bay.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Now broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Here's Alex Strouf.
Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Hour 3 ahead of Packers-Vikes, the final game of the regular season. Week 18 in the NFL. It's a sexy one today for the Packers, who are playing effectively nobody. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel, John Anderson, Super Bowl champ Bryan Bulaga, hanging with you here on ESPN Wisconsin, 620 WTMJ. A ton of scenarios still exist, none that are super fun in the NFL today, other than maybe the Sunday night football game. It's Packers-Steelers. Old friend Aaron Rodgers looking to punch his ticket. It's win and you're in on Sunday night football. The winner of that game will win the AFC North and host a playoff game next week as the 4 seed in the AFC. Pittsburgh 9-7. Baltimore the win over Green Bay last week, even the record out at 8-8. So the winner will be 9-8 and host a playoff game in the AFC. That's the only win you're in scenario today. But a couple of scenarios the Packers are keeping an eye on. The Bears and Lions play at 325. The Eagles and Commanders also play at 325. A Bears victory over the Lions solidifies Packers-Bears at Soldier Field next week. A Bears loss and an Eagles victory over Washington would result in, for the second straight season, the Packers heading to Philadelphia to play the Eagles. We just talked about it very briefly with Jason, Gabe. I want to start with you, though. It is totally, I would imagine we're all on the same page, definitely would rather go to Chicago and see the Bears wild card weekend than to Philadelphia for the second straight season. Yes?
Yeah, because the way that defense, while the offense certainly is a mess, and they were fortunate, I think, to escape Buffalo with a victory last week for the Eagles, that defense for the Eagles is playing at such an incredibly high level. The Bears don't have a side of the ball that operates like that Eagles defense does. It's one of the best in the league. You can move the ball against the Bears, as we saw the Packers be able to do just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, that Philly is the better team of those two because of their defense, and going there, facing that defense once again. The Packers would be dogs in that game, whereas the early line, DraftKings came out with an early line. If they go to Chicago, they would be favored by 1.5.
Which is hilarious to me. But yeah, if Jordan Love is healthy and can get on a little bit of a roll, I think he can definitely go to Chicago and get a victory. Although I'm not really ruling a victory out anywhere, to be honest with you. I still have belief the Packers can win a playoff game or two, even without Micah Parsons, even without Tucker Kraft. But you need some nice breaks, and Jordan Love needs to be on his A game. John, I'll go to you, and then I want to get the player perspective from Brian, as the Packers, after their game in Minnesota, will kind of await to see where they head. But John, it's got to be Chicago. You want to beat up on the little brother one more time?
I guess I don't see anybody as a little brother. I mean, it's nice, but they've shown they're a different squad for sure, and they're capable. And I don't know how much wind did you put in their sails with the loss in Soldier Field. No matter how dramatic that was, and the 5 thing. I'll be honest, I'm still emotionally unavailable to speak about that. So we'll just say that we did a lot for their psyche by making them win that game. And I don't know if you guys recall, I sat here, right? I just don't want the stupid game always to come down to the last possession, which it always does with these clowns.
Yeah.
So that still worries me. And there's something about the Eagle game. While I agree with you, yes and no, something about the Eagle game that I feel like we've been hammering at that rock enough that maybe it finally breaks. That they finally have decided, okay, we've played these guys enough. We've played them in Lambeau. We've lost twice there. We've went to Brazil. Like, we finally have figured out a way to crack the code on those guys. So there's something about some part in there that says to me, if they have to go to Philly, that's not a disastrous result of the two. I just would prefer the Chicago thing, because, and this is leading into Brian, and I'm sure where you're going to some degree, Alec, is that just like it's still going to be their first playoff football game in a while. And I think that takes a minute to, and maybe, who knows, maybe they get some jitters out in 4 minutes and they're fine. But I do think that those stakes make it a little different. And Philly's pretty tested in that. The Packers are pretty tested in that, successfully, some successful. But the Bears have right now, really nobody on that roster that's experienced that. So, ideally, I'll take Chicago, but I'm not thinking it's ruinous to have to go to Philly.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. But also, I just want that matchup again. For the first time since 2010, the NFC Championship game, the last time those two teams played in the postseason. Brian, curious from your perspective, wild card team, you know what seed you are. That's why we have the result we do for the Packers today, playing a lot of the backups and some of the depth pieces. We'll start in Minnesota. But once this game wraps in Minnesota, the Packers will await to see who their opponent is, as those two other games are at 3:25 to determine where they're traveling next week. How does that go? What are players doing? Are they watching the game? Do you really care who you're playing after you get done with the game? Like, give us your perspective in the locker room, and ultimately when they travel home as the Packers await their destination for next week.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll certainly watch the games and have an interest in it. And I think the players know who they match up better with, right? Like, as a team, they already know who they'd prefer to go against from an individual standpoint, right? Like, from a matchup standpoint individually. They've played both teams already this year. They just know right now, like, who they'd rather see, right? And I don't know what team that is in that locker room, right? Like, I don't know what team they would prefer to see as a whole, right? I know individually guys probably would prefer Chicago from an offensive standpoint, what Gabe said, they would prefer Chicago than Philly's defense. But at the same time, I would guess that they'll probably get Lane Johnson back for the playoffs if I had to take a guess. And for some reason, when Lane Johnson comes back on that offensive line for Philly, they just play a million times better, and they're able to run the football. And that's our issue right now, is stopping the run, clearly, from last week. And I just feel like you go to Philly and he's back and they feel that momentum and they win this week and they're the 2 seed, and they're going to run the football, and they're going to run it, and they're going to run it, and they're going to run it. And to me, that's my biggest concern. I feel like Green Bay can stop or at least handle Chicago's run game better. Like, that to me that's my opinion on it. Then if Philly somehow gets their run game going, I don't know. That's like a stopping a boulder rolling downhill. Like, at least that's my opinion on it. And if it's me, I'm wanting to go to Chicago again. That's my opinion on it as a player. You're familiar with them. I know you've played Philly like every year the last few years, but you're just more familiar with Chicago and what to expect exactly. And that would be my thought. I'm hoping Chicago gets the job done, even though you don't want Chicago to go in with momentum. You'd rather Chicago get the job done and you go there. And it's a shorter trip. It's just a better travel perspective. The game plan's a lot more fresh from what happened a few weeks ago, right? So when the coaches dust off the playbook and the game plan, it's right there. Guys are familiar with it. And with guys taking time off, that's probably the best case because they had just gone there and done that. And maybe it's a little quicker refresh for them going right off the gate, getting Chicago out of the way.
We will await to see where the Packers head. It will be either Chicago or Philadelphia, depending on results later this afternoon. But it's Packers-Vikings coming up in about 40 minutes from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minnesota. We will take a look at our Lakeland University trivia question, as well as our Island Resort and Casino best bet. Our Gruber Law Office's one call as we continue. It's Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Looking for a delicious meal without breaking the bank? Cousin Subs has you covered. Our $10 meal deal gives you a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub piled high with fresh hand-sliced ingredients, crisp veggies, and all your favorite toppings. Add a bag of chips or regular fries, a fountain drink, and a cookie, all for just $10. This deal's available online or through the Cousins app only. And you can enjoy your meal at home, at work, or delivered straight to your door, hot and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better. Available at participating locations. Offer subject to change.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Looking up at the Marquette banners brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 44 was the first number retired in December of 1961. Don Coe just didn't have to wait long since his last game was earlier that year. Still Marquette's all-time leading rebounder, and it'll stay that way till the end of time. And he did it in only 3 seasons. A side note, Coe just was such a great leaper that Dr. J picked him as the second best dunker when they played in a pro exhibition. Yes, Dr. J picked himself first. Network Health knows that good health knows no age limit. That's why they offer superior local health plans for individuals of all generations. Whether you're a young professional, a growing family, or enjoying your golden years, plan is designed to meet your unique healthcare needs. For more about Network Health's business, individual, or Medicare Advantage plans, call Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Eric, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Green and gold fans, it's game day. And you know what that means. Tailgating with friends and raising a glass to our favorite team. This season, make Bacardi the star of your pregame party. Whether you're mixing up a classic Bacardi and cola, refreshing Bacardi lime and soda, or a smooth spiced and cola, Bacardi is the perfect pick for game day fun. Grab a bottle and get ready to cheer on Green Bay with the best in hand. Available now at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum 40% alcohol by volume.
Potawatomi Casino Hotel wants to extend a sincere thank you to our guests and bingo players. With your generosity, this year's Heart of Canal Street event raised more than $700,000, helping 30 children's charities across southeastern Wisconsin. For more than 30 years, Heart of Canal Street has partnered with hundreds of local organizations to give children safe spaces, resources, and opportunities to thrive. Thank you for sharing your heart. Learn more at potawatomi.com/heart.
They pretty much weren't doing anything. I couldn't ride a bicycle. You don't have your life because you don't have your mobility.
So when Patrick heard about QC Kinetics and their non-invasive regenerative treatments for pain, no waiting, he called them immediately.
There's no downtime. There's no rehab. That was the tipping point for me. I didn't have to take any drugs. I didn't have to rehab.
Before considering surgery, check out QC Kinetics' all-natural treatment options that restore and repair damaged joint tissue in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back.
If you have knee replacement surgery, and then the knee is not yours, and there's no guarantee that that's going to be successful.
QC Kinetics. Patients around the country are raving about the results. They're getting back their mobility, taking back their lives with no downtime, no drugs, and no surgery. Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Continues right here on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ. I'm Alex Strouf. He is Gabe Neitzel. He is John Anderson and the Super Bowl champion. Former Packers right tackle Bryan Bulaga with us as well here on Green Bay Game Day. All right, Brian, I want to get your reaction to the number one line today as warm-ups continue in Minnesota. You ready for this? Here we go. Left tackle is Jordan Morgan, which is something to keep an eye on today. The left guard is Lasita Smith, who is elevated from the practice squad. The center is Jacob Monk, who just hasn't really been able to crack it at all, but he will start at center today. The right guard is this year's second-round pick, Anthony Belton, and the right tackle is who they traded for late in the offseason, not Micah Parsons, but Darian Kennard, who was traded for from Philly. So Morgan, Smith, Monk, Belton, Kennard is your starting offensive line today for Green Bay. Your face kind of says it all, but curious on your reaction as you hear that lineup for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Morgan at left tackle, that's probably the one thing offensively that I'll watch.
Yeah.
That'll be worth, really tuning into. This is the position he said he's wanted to play, that he's slotted into play. Will essentially have every opportunity to play next year, right? And it's against Minnesota starters. So that'll be what I'm paying attention to. Obviously, pre-snap, I'll be watching Monk and how he kind of controls things, because Minnesota throws a lot of different looks. You have a quarterback that hasn't played a lot of NFL snaps, not familiar with, I would say, probably the way, I don't know how long he's been in Green Bay, but probably isn't completely familiar with the mechanics of the offense and how to get in and out of protection adjustments and things like that. And how much is the center going to help him? Center normally is able to help out a lot on those things by helping with change protections and pointing things out and identifying things. So that'll be something I watch too. But overall, elevate someone from the P squad to come start in Minnesota, not really great timing on that. I mean, just being honest, Kennard's obviously played a lot of ball for Green Bay. In Denver, he played a lot. Obviously, he was in KC for a long time. So, that's a little bit of veteran experience that you feel decent about. And then Belton obviously continue on playing and try to get him, staying in a groove, so to speak, playing and not giving him time off, which is good. I agree with that move. So I think the left side of the line is going to be, really from the center to the left side, is going to be something to watch, and how they operate and how they're able to adjust. And if I'm Flores, I'm going after the left side of the offensive line. I'm going to pressure them. I'm going to confuse them. I'm going to do a lot of different things over on that side of the ball, and the blind side of the quarterback, if they throw it a lot, to try and see if I can test those guys, because that's what I would do. Obviously, Belton is a young guy. You're going to test him, and obviously Kennard isn't a normal starter. You'll obviously, you'll test them all.
Yeah, right.
But if you're going to focus somewhere, you're focusing on from the center over to the left tackle, where you're really going to heat things up and bring different looks and pressures.
Good opportunity for Jordan Morgan, as Brian alluded to there. Rasheed Walker is a free agent, unrestricted, at the end of this season. They likely won't re-sign him. He'll get maybe starter money, I would assume, somewhere else, maybe similar to what happened with Josh Myers this past offseason. But you draft Jordan Morgan to start at left tackle, well, he's certainly going to have the opportunity both today and next season. Go ahead, John.
I want to know then, Brian, like as a trained eye, what do you watch for, right? Because I watch and I go, oh, he whiffed that block. Are you watching feet? Are you watching how they set themselves on a pass? What is the intelligent guy that watches when you say you're going to watch Jordan Morgan? What do you watch for?
Yeah, so the first thing I'm going to watch for is footwork and pass set and how he's getting out into space, handling one-on-one matchups. Obviously, Van Ginkel, I think he's really good. Like, I think he's a really good pass rusher. So, like, I'd imagine how he does against their higher-end pass rushers will be something that I pay attention to. And also, the run game, listen, like, I'd love to be really detailed, but it's like, are you moving guys off the ball or not, right? Like, I mean, that's pretty simple. But it's more so in the pass blocking that you watch. How's he getting out of his set? Is he on time with the snap count? Do his feet look settled, right? Like, is he able to take on power? That's been his biggest question, is he good with taking power on? That you question his ability to take on bull rushes and things like that. And against guys like Van Ginkel, who are really good, I mean, I'm not comparing him to Clay, but, like, he moves like Clay. So, like, guys that are able to strike with good power and do speed moves off of that, how is he handling that, right? Because that means if you're able to handle that, you're able to handle power really well, and then move your feet quickly to adjust to a speed move. And that's something that the best left tackles have to be able to do. Like, they have to be able to take on initial shock and then adjust really quick. So that'll be something that I tune into, because if that's his preferred position, that's where he's comfortable doing. That's the stagger in his stance. His right foot is up, right? He's pushing off his right foot, and where he is in space. He should be very comfortable doing this then, right? Like, this should be it. Like, he should look very in place here. So those will be the things that I look for, because, like, auditions are auditions, and I get it. Then you'll go into next season and there's training camp, but, like, this is an opportunity to show that I am the guy that will be here next year. This will be my gig. And to me, when you're going against good pass rushers like Van Ginkel and what Minnesota has, on the road, not with your normal center, not with your normal quarterback, do you just isolate yourself out there and do your job and play really well? And to me, that's what I'm looking for.
Good stuff there, as always. From the doctor of football, Bryan Bulaga, on the offensive line. All right, Gabe, your time to shine. Time now for our Lakeland University trivia question. It's about Clayton Tune, so get in your Clayton Tune bag.
Okay.
Trivia brought to you by Lakeland University, Wisconsin's leader in flexible, personalized education. Whether you're just starting college, finishing your degree, or balancing work and family, Lakeland lets you earn your degree your way. Lakeland University, experience it your way. Clayton Tune, last season, the 2024 season, won, exiting the preseason, the backup quarterback job for the Arizona Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
Who did he beat out?
This is not even Clayton Tune trivia. This is trivia about some other guy that was going to be the backup in Arizona.
Come on.
You're Mr. National. Any guesses?
No.
That guy's not even the XFL.
All right, here's your hint. He's on the Packers roster.
Was it Desmond Ridder?
It was Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder and Clayton Tune, the great backup quarterback battle of Arizona in August 24.
We have the Cardinals quarterbacks right now.
That's correct. From 24. Yeah.
You're killing whatever last hope I had. Appreciate that.
Well, they're gonna keep their head coach. So something must be going right over there. I don't know that they're gonna keep their starting quarterback from 24 though either.
Doesn't seem like it. Seems like he's going to be on the way out there. They need a new QB in
So
Arizona.
they're just since last season, it's just a complete overhaul. Kyler Murray, Desmond Ridder, and Clayton Tune, who will start today for.
You've had 7 years of trying Kyler Murray, and it's not working.
Yeah, well, Call of Duty.
Worked for about a half a season that one time.
Twitch streaming might work for him better. in his next life.
That's to the point. It's kind of like the point, though, if we go back to like we talked about where the Packers were at the end of that game against 49ers 2 years ago and now. Like, I don't know that anybody's done any favors to Kyler Murray because sometimes he looks great, but he's exactly the same player he was the first day he showed up. Runs around a lot, makes some plays, he's crazy. I don't know that there's been 1 ounce of development in him. And I say that not because I'm obsessed with the Big Red, but that's what the Packers need to do, right? I think they do that. And as Gabe said, he thinks Jordan Love's a better player than he was against the Cowboys. And I look at how much better Malik Willis is than the version they got from Tennessee. And so I think, in that case, when we talk about LaFleur and what he's doing, like I think guys have gotten better under him, at least quarterback-wise.
Yes.
And some of the other development maybe is lacking. But in that case, I think the quarterback they have is why you still kind of have faith in him. And to some degree that maybe Clayton Tune's been coached up a little bit to not necessarily be a complete, lay down in this thing.
Yeah. Clayton Tune, the Green Bay Packers start today in the regular season finale against the Minnesota Vikings. We take a look at our Island Resort and Casino best bet, which I'm still struggling to figure out what that's going to be. And our Gruber Law Office's One Call. That is up next on Green Bay Game Day.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Put a little wow in your winter at the 31st Annual Lake Geneva Winterfest and America's Snow Sculpting Invitational, January 28th through February 1st. Watch 15 top teams create breathtaking masterpieces in snow right before your very eyes. Enjoy bonfires on the beach, a kids' play area, live entertainment, and a sparkling downtown ice sculpture walk. Plan your Winterfest getaway at visitlakgeneva.com. Lake Geneva, where it's always been the place for winter magic.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse, followed by an evening of comedy in Club 4-1. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
You've already put in the work. Now there's a way to make it count towards your degree. At Lakeland University, your work and life experience can earn you college credit, helping you finish faster, saving time and money. With flexible evening and online classes, plus multiple start dates, Lakeland fits your life. Study 100% online at one of our 6 locations across Wisconsin or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. Customize your degree to fit your life, your goals, your future, without missing the moments that matter, at work or at home. Your experience matters here. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's football season, and that means it's time to break out the Bandito with El Bandito Yankee, the official tequila of game day. 100% Blue Weber agave, all natural and so smooth it's criminal. Try the award-winning Blanco, Reposado, and Yeho, and the new high-proof Plata 47. Ask for El Bandito Yankee at your favorite bar or restaurant and buy it today at Woodman's and Festival Foods. And for tailgates, recipes, and more places for purchase, go to elbanditoyankee.com.
Outfit your crew. Your workforce is your brand. From uniforms to safety apparel, Alpha Custom Apparel helps you outfit your team with gear that looks sharp and works hard. We create durable, functional apparel that keeps your crew comfortable and confident on the job. No more digging through endless catalogs. We handle the details so you can focus on running your business. With fast turnaround, custom options, and friendly Midwest service, we make it easy to keep your team looking their best. Visit alphacustomapparel.com. Let's get to work.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Gabe Neitzel for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with Accutrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use Accutrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. Accutrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with sedans, SUVs, limos, vans, and buses. Book today at AccuTransGroup.com.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel, John Anderson, Super Bowl champion Bryan Bulaga with you ahead of Packers Vikings, a noon kickoff here in Week 18 of the NFL season. We will get to my best bet, which I'm having a hard time figuring out what that's going to be in our Gruber Law Office's one call in just a moment. But does appear like this could be the final game for longtime Viking safety Harrison Smith. Has been with the team since 2012, but a bunch of players are walking in to U.S. Bank Stadium or have walked in wearing his college jersey, effectively signaling a farewell to him. So likely his final game day to the 36-year-old safety for the Vikings. He's been there forever, since 2012. So just a quick note on that for you. All right, I'm going to try to do this. My best bet, which is presented by the Island Resort and Casino, a premier resort destination, the largest north of Milwaukee. With everything you like to do in one awesome location, visit their website, islandresortandcasino.com. That's islandresortandcasino.com to book your total experience today. There's no player props available, so I can't be that.
You don't know who's playing. That's the issue.
So I guess I'm just going to go out on a limb and say I don't think the Vikings cover, so I'll take the Packers plus 12.5. I think they probably lose by like 10 or 11. I don't think they lose by 13. So there's that. That's my best bet. Packers plus 12.5. If you're going to take action on this one, though, I think we need to have a different conversation, to be real honest with you. Minus 12.5, the Vikings are favored. Okay, so this reminds me about what we did earlier. I Need a Hero by Network Health. This is now going to be our Gruber Law Office's one call. Let's see how creative you guys can get. Gruber Law Offices has a reputation for winning. Their experienced and powerful team works tirelessly to help people and families seriously injured in accidents by providing the best care and service. There is never a fee until your case is won. Gruber Law Offices has been serving the people and state of Wisconsin for over 35 years. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. Gabe Neitzel, one call, that's all.
I'm going to say the Packers get an interception today.
Okay.
Evan Williams looks like he's still playing out there at safety because, again, some starters have to go out there and play. J.J. McCarthy will still give you an opportunity from time to time. I think the Packers get an interception in this afternoon's game.
Okay, great. That's good. That's good. J.J. McCarthy gives you one. Bryan Bulaga, your one call, that's all.
I'm going to go Emmanuel Wilson. I think he rushes for over 60 yards. I think that's like where I'm gonna. I don't know if even you said there's no player prop, so I have no idea what his number would even be.
Me neither.
But I'm gonna say he goes over 60 yards, and that's because I think we may run the ball 35 to 40 times. So yeah, I mean I hope he is able to get 60 yards. I'm trying to be like this. I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to find something that I can go off. And I think Emmanuel Wilson, kind of like John talked about a few segments ago, is a good football player. I think he's a good back. Let's hope this offensive line can create something for him and he can get going a little bit.
All right, I like that. Now, I've noticed our boldness has gone down quite a bit ahead of this on one interception, 60 rushing yards. These are good from what we usually say in this segment. This is fun. John Anderson, Gruber Law Offices, one call.
Well, first off, if you're gambling on this game, please call the number at the bottom of your screen. And get
Correct.
Yep. Or somehow you weren't able to wager on Highlight or Swedish harness racing or something. When that comes through, because that just doesn't seem like this is when you this is how you literally identify if you have a problem in your life. I'm gonna let you decide on this. I'm debating if it's 5 or 6 3 and outs for this offense. I'm going to set the over and under at 5, and I think it's going to go over. That's my big one call, is I think they are going to be so conservative, and if not conservative, inept. And I have the over and under on 3 and outs at 5, and I'm going to take the over.
All right, you and I are actually operating in a very similar wheelhouse. The Packers have not punted since they played in Denver. I'm going with a punt every quarter for the Packers today. Daniel Whelan gonna get some work today. I'm gonna say the Packers punt in every quarter today after not punting for several weeks. So there we go.
These are fun bets if they were available.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. It's too bad.
Honestly, I bet there's maybe not through legal channels anymore. I bet there are people that would take those numbers if you offered them to there.
If you happen to know somebody,
that traffic in these places, in these kind of things. Yeah. His name is Lenny.
His name is Lenny as he's sitting at the corner of the local tavern. Yeah, no doubt about that.
Right.
Very good. All right, final thoughts at a Packers-Vikings, the final game of the regular season. The four of us back with you next week, 3 hours before wherever the Packers play Wild Card Weekend. But it's the final time we will give our final thoughts on a game in the regular season. And this one's weird. More weird thoughts as we wrap up Green Bay Game Day right after this.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
When you're injured, you want quick, specialized care, not a long ER wait. The orthopedic care specialists at Ortho ASAP treat fractures, sprains, strains, sports injuries, and more right away. With on-site x-rays and expert care, Ortho ASAP gets you back on track faster. Open 7 days a week with locations in Brookfield and Pewaukee, it's more affordable than the ER. Walk in, get treated, and get back to life. Ortho ASAP. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous. 5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
I slept in a lot of different rooms, different beds, but none of them really felt like mine. I spent 14 years in foster care, mostly in group homes. And I never had much left because I always had to be ready to move. Why get things if you just have to let them go?
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a forever family and a permanent home of their own.
Now I have my own room with walls that tell my story. I love hanging out in here. I play dress up with my sisters and I sing and make videos. But the best part knowing I'll always have a place to go and a family that loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Couple minutes to go here on Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel, Bryan Bulaga, John Anderson with you. What a weird game this was, or is, and what a weird pregame show this was, man. We said so many names on the show today that we haven't said all season.
In fairness, some of those names haven't been on the roster all season.
Trayvon Diggs, Lacita Smith.
Like, I'm convinced Jalen Simpson is like from Shawshank. I think he's a figment of our imagination. I don't know that he actually exists.
I don't either. Here's the thing. The Packers
Andy Dufresne made him up.
The Packers made 23 roster moves this week. Jason could have said any name that he talked to in the locker room this week, and I would have believed him. I wouldn't have second-guessed it for a second. I mean, we're going to see so many numbers and names we don't recognize today. Luckily, we got a little preview of Clayton Tune at the end of last week against Baltimore.
Were we lucky?
Well, no.
Were we lucky?
Maybe the wrong word. I guess just for your memory.
Way to put that. Tune in.
So is anybody picking the Packers to win? I guess I'll start there.
No.
The Vikings are 12.5-point favorites. Okay. John ducks out of his camera. Brian won't even look at me. This is going well. Okay. Okay. Raise your hand if you think they lose by less than a touchdown. Okay. No hands in the air. Raise your hand if you think they lose by less than 10 points. Still no hands in the air. Okay, they are 12.5-point dogs. Raise your hand if you think they lose by less than 13. That's where I'll raise my hand. Okay, this is something. Raise your hand if you think they lose by less than 17.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll give
maybe somewhere in there.
Okay, Brian.
Like, I don't know how they score, and I don't know how they stop the Vikings from scoring. Like, with what I have seen from the beat reporters who have been putting out what the starting lineup is going to look like for your Green Bay Packers today, I just don't know.
So you almost think 12.5's generous.
Yeah, because the Vikings are playing their players. Obviously, guys like Aaron Jones, as you mentioned, TJ Hawkinson, they're out, but their defense, they're still playing most of their defense. They're still playing most of their offense, and the Packers are mostly playing backups, and in some cases, like the most important position on the field, they're playing their third-string practice squad QB.
I think this is a good summary of this show, and it's on our score graphic, which you could find on Instagram and Twitter at ESPN Milwaukee. About a dozen of us pick the score every week. We give our pregame score prediction every week. This week, a little bit different, because Gabe Neitzel actually didn't make one. It's just a screenshot of a text message he sent to Maddie Hayes, who runs our social media and makes these graphics. And he just said, do I have to, in terms of predict the game?
I thought it was a fair question.
And that was ultimately your score prediction, is do I have to? Ben Brust, 0-0 is what he picked.
Yeah, he basically punted on that as well.
Yeah, so
I respect it.
That's good. I also respect it. And Tausch also with a screenshot of a text message says, the Vikings 27-12, but on to Chicago or Philadelphia. So we will see. All right, Packers, Vikings coming up in just about 5 minutes from U.S. Bank Stadium. And, of course, the Packers will wait to see who their opponent will be next week in the wild card round of the playoffs. They'll either head to Chicago to take on the Bears or head to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Whoever winds up as the second seed in the NFC, and that comes down to those 325 games. I'm back with you after the game, unfortunately, on Green Bay game night with Mark Tauscher, Gary Ellerson, and Jason Wilde. And the four of us back with you next week, 3 hours ahead of the wild card game for Green Bay as they take on either the Bears or the Eagles. Enjoy the game. You can vent. You can talk about it. And we will preview the wild card matchup despite not knowing who it will be on Green Bay game night coming up after the game. This has been Green Bay Game Day on ESPN Wisconsin, 620 WTMJ.
We're back with